So close to that big 1 year.
Good evening, one and all. It is Wednesday, it's the very end of April, and it's time that we jump in to some more good old Warframe. Welcome everyone, hope you're doing well where you are around the world. And as we get started as well, there was the resub from Ductile Will of the 465 variety, the winner of last stream's Platinum giveaway no less, and now up onto 11 months of support. Ductile, thank you very much for continuing support here on the channel, much appreciated. This year's just flying by. It absolutely is. Yep. 1/3 of the year. 1/3 of it.
Remember, chocolate teapots are not just practical, they are delicious.
There's two details I'm not sure about there, Andrew, but all the same, thank you very much for the 33-month resub as well. Up there with your Prime once again, and that lovely bronze teapot next to your name. Of course. Cheers. Cheers indeed. Yes, we are 1/3 of the way through the year, roughly speaking. I don't care which exact day is considered 1/3 of the way through it. 4 months. 4 months down. Ooh, boy, howdy, eh? And I have a reason to believe that the next few months are just going to get odder still, especially when it comes to Warframe, because we know that we have got that upcoming PAX dev stream, where they're going to be announcing new frame, new prime, new major content drop.
Already, lol.
I guess you must have joined us. What would that be? Hang on, what will that be? November 30th? Because you've got November resub, December resub, January, February, March, April. Yeah, it must have been November. Hey, will you look at that? Silver, thank you very much for the 6 months and that lovely golden badge next to your name. Cheers. But yes, PAX and TennoCon. We are going to be getting the teaser details of PAX and the fuller details at TennoCon. So these next few months are going to be interesting for Warframe. That is for certain. I'm very curious as to what it's going to be. But for today, it is in fact not yet TennoCon, not yet PAX, not yet any of that stuff. It is still only April, if we shift our perspective back the other way. And I would like to throw myself into Archimedia. Because it's been a while since I've done that kind of thing on stream, so let's do that kind of thing on stream, you know. Waiting the whole month of June for the TennoCon reveal is going to be excruciating. I know what you mean. We'll just have to wait and see, won't we? We'll just have to wait and see. So, let's head on over to Velasco.
The future?
Velasco, that is.
Temporal
Temporal Archimedia.
Ready when you are.
Elite ready to go, and let's see what bits and pieces are available to me. Is PAX going to be streamed on Twitch? Yes, it's going to be on the PAX main channel. I think Warframe said that it's going to be on their channel as well, but there's not going to be drops because they are off-site. Is the reasoning they gave. I figured there'd be other reasons, but that's the reasoning they gave. But yeah. Yeah, Ladybug. There are a lot of interesting panels that will be showcased with TennoCon. It's curious to me that they are, as announced in the recent dev stream, they're not doing any secondary workshop panels. all of the panels are going to be just on stream, on the main stage, all of it. Which, hey, it means that those of us who can't attend, we get to see basically all of it. But it's still odd to me, just a little bit odd that those extra workshops aren't happening. I wonder why. In any case, Warframe-wise, I've got the options of Styanax, Oberon, and Grendel. Primary, Stephalos, Excelsior, or Ferox. Secondary, Dual Toxicist, Vasto, or Twin Racketas. And then for melee, Namisolo, Aminata, and Twin Basok. Well, those two on the left-hand side here, the Dual Toxicist and Namisolo, are very clear, beautiful pickups. Absolutely. In terms of the primaries, I'm probably not going to be using the primaries. On the basis of the Stephalos really isn't great, the Excelsior ammo woes are painful, and the Ferox is just a big fat no from me, thank you very much. But that's fine, there's still plenty of other bits and pieces there. In terms of Warframe, I think the right choice for me here is probably going to be Styanax. I was saying Grendel with 2 incarnates, free run. I mean, Grendel's available, but I think Styanax, because doesn't Styanax have the Overguard gen? Which is just going to be lovely. That's what I'm thinking now. Which mostly makes it a left side selection. In fact, I might as well go for a completely left side selection. Why not? In terms of the modifiers first, we've got minus 50% melee combo chance. Not terrible, it just takes twice as long to gain it. Fractured armor. Cast ability reduces armor by 10% for 10 seconds. Well, that's all the more reason to go for the Overguard focus. Constricted. Max energy reduced by 75%. Okay, so a highly efficient setup is desirable. Duly noted. Ammo deficit. Ammo restored by drops in gear is reduced 75%. All the more reason to use the Incarnans. So yeah, that should work plenty. Blind Guy saying, max range Oberon with Universal Fallout means team doesn't have to worry about energy. Sure, yeah, that's an energy generation. There are many options, that is one of them. Happy that we're getting letter editing the Archimedia menu? That will be nice, yes. That will be nice. And in terms of the missions then, what have we got here? We've got, first one, a Hell Scrub against Skuldra. And it says that hold your breath, the entire region deals toxic damage over time. Increase the longer players remain, except in the vicinity of Hell Scrubbers. Ew. Alright. Entanglement. Allies within 4 meters of slain enemies endure reduced movement speed and particle velocity. Slightly annoying. And Bold Venture. Enemies deal slightly less damage, take more damage, but they are faster in every way. Which is plenty manageable. Legocyte Harvest. 2 Legocytes spawn each round, and twice as many captures are needed for success. Corrupted Flesh. Techro enemies are infused with Ephevon and take damage over time. They explode when killed and leave behind deadly Ephevon in their wake. And Devil's Bargain. Allies within 4 meters of slain enemies gain fire rate at the cost of ammo efficiency. Okay, you gotta be careful on that. Although ammo efficiency doesn't affect incarnate modes. So that's nice. Georgia, the raffle command kept breaking, so it's been switched over to the free stuff command. It's far less elegant of a command name, but raffle just kept breaking. And I can't remove the default raffle command that appears to be what's causing it to break. Thanks, Stream Elements. Yeah. And lastly, then we have this Exterminate here. Sealed armor. Enemies take 95% less damage from non-weak point hits. Again, Joel Toxis is loving this. Miasmite Swarm. Miasmite Swarm out of the shadows throughout the mission. God knows what those are. Gonna find out. And Beyond the Wall. Murmur enemies join ranks with Skuldra and the Techrot for some reason. Okay. And we request for some purple lighting. Sure. Now, I don't think I have... Oh, let's unlock. I don't think I have many of these to fiddle with at the moment. Let's see. Enemies have a chance to drop an Argon Burger boxes. Can be picked up to heal nearby allies and defense targets. Using Heavy Slam with 10 times combo creates snow globes. Chance to resist knockdown. Equip a set of dual skull. Blah, 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 blah. Revive potentials, weak point kills generate null star, on Xmas kill, 25% chance to drop an elemental ammo pack. Equip this as a primary weapon. That can replace the crappy primary options I have. Summon a Necromech, and a loaded RPG can be deployed from a gear wheel. Okay. Yeah, let's go with... Here's that's got the constant toxin everywhere. Let's give that one a support one. Which would be... Go with that. And then... This one where the enemies are only taking damage from weak point stuff, we might as well benefit from the weak point focus. There we go. And on this one... Not sure there's much of a desire to go for any of the particular bits, so I'll use this one as the... where'd it go? The primary weapon replacement. That should do the trick. That should do the trick there. Oh there, Maurice. Wish you well, brother. I have a question. Do red shards for melee critical damage work on Ash's 4th? Don't see why they wouldn't. Ash's 4th uses a exalted melee. Exalted melees are melee weapons, and red shards for melee crit damage improves melee weapons. So yeah, I don't see why it shouldn't work. Alright, let's equip these bits and pieces, and then I'll open up the squad as well. If you'd like to join me on these runs today, send me a message in game, the Engineer. I'll bring you on into the squad, and we can smash through this together. Look at that, we've already got a gear wanting to be part of that. Absolutely, come on in. Let's set up my arsenals. We need a Styanax. We need a... well, we don't need, but we're equipping a Stephalos. The Dual Toxicist. And the Nami Solo. Am I willing to wait a few minutes? Well, you've got as long as it takes me to get everything set up here.
Traveler. Got a set of crisis events lined up for you. Make sure we get a gold
Excellent, so that's going to meet all of the requirements. That is all good. So pick up all the pick chips, all the rewards, all the good stuff. So now let's modify Styanax to deal with this. Let's see, that was a testing one. Is this the Battle Stand Augment? Each javelin damaged enemy grants Overguard. That is what I'm looking for. This is already an efficient setup, so that is actually good. Means that this is only going to cost 40 energy, but I don't have energy max added in here, so... Do I have space to fit that in somewhere? Not easily, no. Mind you, if we're relying on Overguard, then adaptation shouldn't matter anywhere near as much. So you know what, let's be a little risky. Let's remove adaptation there, put in the flow. That'll give us increased energy max, so when this comes down, we'll still have a little over 100 max energy, which should make casting everything plenty achievable. Plentifully so. We'll still have backup shield regen as well to deal with that if I do run out of Overguard and casting. Earlier good to join. There we go. Come on in. Let's triple check the builds and everything else. Make sure nothing has fallen off. That is using dexterity. Let's switch you to Deadhead. There we go. Well, this is the no aim setup, and that is the aim setup. I probably should go for the quote-unquote aim setup. It's probably going to be better for me. So let's do that. Nami Solo, are you appropriately modded? You are missing a couple bits. Let's see here. So Spite Orokin is going to be a bad idea right now. Let's take you off. We've got our crit damage. Was this built for heavy attacks? Well, let's put a Blood Rush on there. And then it doesn't have to be built for just heavy attacks. It's absolutely fine. I'm not going to think too much about building here. This will just get much of the work done. And let's slap on a melee exposure. Why not? Give it that kind of approach. In the Exilus, there is just enough room for a Mentor's Legacy. And Stephalos. Yeah, it's Stephalos, I don't care. Make sure our companion is appropriately equipped. Let's give it Verglass, because Verglass is amazing. I appear to be missing a mod off of here. go. That's been testing earlier. Cephalux exists? That's it does. It is a crying shame, but it does exist. Look, I want to say, one thing that's annoying me with the more Archimedia is I've been trying to get more stacks of Crescendo. Best case scenarios, it keeps giving me duplicate even though I already have it maxed. Yeah, that's RNG rewards for you, unfortunately. Your best way around that is to sell the rewards you get and buy the arcane you're looking for. A little bit of trading is a little bit of fixing. Yeah. We've got one more spell available if anyone else would like to join us on today's run through the Archimedia. Oh, and that sounds like the spot has been claimed. We've got a Jason. Got an open spot. Let's try the pick stickers on a second run. Yeah, sure, why not? Bring yourself in. Wait for them to load in. I'll activate it, and everyone can vote ready when they're ready.
SU forever. Am I right? Okay. Get your loadout ready, because once you're locked in, I cannot pull you out without the whole run going to hell.
There we go. Run starting. Can you join? Unfortunately not now, James. The slots are all full. You're welcome to stick around. I'm sure more opportunities will pop up. Just gonna go for a little wander around the mall whilst we wait.
If you ever wonder why you're in a situation like this, then you've forgotten just...
Everyone's ready to go. Oh, and I need to be somewhere. I knew that. So we've got Ash, Rhino, Lavos, Styanax. Looking all good there. We've got Lavos running with Aceto Prime. You somehow get the impression that's not someone matching in all the requirements. That's just someone having another run through for fun. Not a problem. Actually probably makes life easier if we have someone who's not beholden to the whims of the game.
Slab day. Yay! Here's the deal. Get those hell scrubbers online, and I monitor their sensor clusters for any signs of void encroachment. Cool?
Cool.
Yeah, chemistry is one of my
Obliteration.
things, but
There we go. We
you
got some
know the
overguard
way.
now. I have done about others. Let's pop this on. Have I heard of Expedition 33? I have not, no. What we got here? Just some enemies being a problem, it's fine. Oh, we got a Babao. Oh dear. Let's go deal with it. Burn it down, burn it down, burn it down. Free up any overguard potential for everyone. Ow, okay. I rapidly had said overguard removed. A little unfortunate. We're good. Can't wait to have loadout slots to do these sort of missions. Sorry? Oh, just loadouts to do these sort of missions. Currently struggling with Earth and Steel Path. You'll get there, you'll get there. It's all a process. Gee, they do not love me having overguard, do they? Targets? There they are. I forget which modifiers we've got and why I'm constantly taking this amount of overguard shattering damage. I'm sure there's a good reason for it. Also trying to see teammates are over this way. We're not interested in the Babao? Or is the Babao this way as well? Get out toxic damage. Oh, right! That's what it was. Yes, there's that modifier. I completely forgot there was the toxin. It doesn't feel like there's a toxin field around me. And now that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Yeah. It didn't look like I was in a dangerous area, so I completely forgot that modifier existed. Facing down. Faces up. Oh, bollocks. Well, I'm down. Can't blame that on the zone. I was in it.
You call that a spore cloud? I'll show you a spore cloud.
Nope, there goes our defensive area. Let's move to the next one. Apparently I've not been using a lot of Incarnans recently. Maybe fractured armor giving an armor debuff as well? Armor debuff shouldn't apply to Overguard. By that I mean it doesn't apply to Overguard, so not sure what you're suggesting. We have the enemies over here, please. Kinda hard to kill them if they're not here to kill. Here we go. Whole bunch of lovely Overguard. I can't see through that. All this, for that matter. It's surprisingly opaque. Cheers, Flo. So far, Overgold holding. Let's just re-up a bunch. Actually, hard to see the targets I could use that on. Oh, it just pops as soon as I aim at it. Where's the next one? Yep, never mind. I thought there were some zones I could slip into. It turns out that was just the edge of the toxin rendering. Go figure. I will just stay here and acknowledge that the enemies are nowhere near us. Ah, here's a bunch. Fully charged, activate it. Beautiful. Oh shoot, someone took away the thingy. I need a new safe zone. I am perishing. Ow. Why stagger me right then? There we are. That was a pretty explosion. I think that was caused by my companion. Were we in need of using up the Hell Scrub? Or was it using itself up? Because I swear it looked like someone keeps on using them up and forced us to move, but I don't imagine anyone here would be doing that. Where's the safe spot? This way. There isn't someone just using these, is there? You activate it whenever it's 70? Is that really necessary, Elio?
Minerva? There's
Are you doing that
something
just to
here.
make things more
Not sure
annoying?
what, but
Because it
something.
feels like that is the solution.
Always better than
To
nothing.
just not use it when we're at
What's
70.
next?
We can use it when we're much lower if needed. Because it just removes the zone. We have to go find a new one. Dragging the enemy spawns around with us. Is it doing something bad? Yes! Did you forget that we have the toxin fields outside of the life support, which is the very thing I talked about moments ago. I was like, oh, I forgot about that, and that's why my overguard was vanishing. I assume you would have heard that if you also could hear this. Never mind. And just in general, activating them at 70% is a little bit weird. Because again, just in general survival terms, that forces you to have to move to a new area if you need to go get them. Might I say that when people have ads? Fun fact, LU does not have ads. Well, we got an Archon shard. That is good. Yeah, the toxin field is a little bit unobvious, because there is that toxiny cloud around, but it recedes away from wherever you are, which I guess is to just try and not fill your field of view. But it means that it's not actually good at reminding you it's happening.
Couldn't you go down to the stream and poke frog spawn like a normal
Yeah.
kid?
Not ideal. 40% is when you usually activate scrubbers. Honestly, I'd let it get lower than that. Just in general. You don't activate it when you don't need to. Hell scrubs are dangerous if left alone. Yeah, and the mission is that we weren't leaving them alone. Right. You tend to activate scrubbers because they decay into mabals. I mean, yes, they do decay into mabals. Yes. If you don't clean them off. Solution dies to clean them off. Oh, activated 4 as everything stopped being here. Says there's something... Oh. I wasn't looking for that. Ellie is down! Save Ellie. Ellie is fine. You only activate with mission announcers bugging you about it? Understandable choice. Oh yeah, let's grab that and shove it in. There we go. Right, we're gonna do 2 leg sites at once. Let's get on to that. Value is down. Means I can't give Value that overguard. Aegir is down, Aegir is back. I'm trying to give out the overguard quick enough. I also don't have a UI for these Legocytes, apparently. Trying to keep our overguard topped up. Oops, I've lost my energy gem. Man, these things are bullet sponges. Oh, well, there went all of that overguard I just generated. Ginormous leap, okay. That one got. Okay, we got them both. Splendid. Alright.
They are. Each new generation learns from the mistakes of the last.
Let's start the next round.
Dare turn that into mentor speech.
He's got nerfed already? Yeah. I do love when a game introduces difficulty in the form of sheer bullet sponge. It is my absolute favourite. I also enjoy streaming nothing but constant swear words, pouring boiling hot coffee down my back and calling it a shower, and jumping off cliffs without a parachute. That is also enjoyable. In exactly the same way. What mode is this? This is Elite Temporal Archimedia. Well, I was trying to rescue that cat. Get to objective, players waiting for you. What do you mean players waiting for me? At what objective could players be waiting for me? I am not doing a lot of killing here. I am merely trying to provide support. Ow. Watch the blue floor. Oh, I'm looking at it. There we go. Make sure this is fully up. I don't have any enemies to target here, so I can't give out overguard. Oh, they spawn in different places this time. That's excellent. Oh, and it teleports. Alright. And is immune to my crowd control? Yep. Jesus, my overguard is instantly popping the moment I generate it. What this time? Now, is that both Legocytes escaping? Because if so, I'm going to go to the other one, actually. Oh, are they both here? No, wait. I can't tell. No, it's definitely got a marker this way. I don't like the feeling that the other one might also be escaping. Where did it? Where is it? There it is. Oh, for goodness sake. Stop doing that. Ah! Ah, I'm just stun locked. I can't. Come on, hit the head, hit the head, hit the head. There we go. Stop with the teleporting, please. Accolades? Yeah, accolades, not nice. I've been trying to dodge that as well. Where did it go? It went inside that? Oh wait, no, it just... I don't know what it did there, I'll be honest. I thought I was looking at that spot. Use that to just generate some more overguard. My UI is just absolutely given up. Ow. Okay, we're good, we're good, we're good. What an absolute mess. Also, don't stand on the blue floor. How can I tell which is correct blue floor and which is dangerous blue floor? Damage attenuation, I understand why it exists. My biggest issues with attenuation are the lack of feedback to show how and why you're being attenuated, and when it's used to just make something feel like a DPS timer. You must deal damage for X time. That's not a game mechanic at that point. That's just a chore. And a fan of chores. Not in my video game. I get that the alternative is, oh, but what if players absolutely obliterate it? And to be quite honest, we have our randomized loadouts. If we're obliterating with our randomized loadouts, our loadouts are good enough, right? Isn't that the whole point? If we're given random loadouts and then our loadouts are told to be... Yeah, they said, oh, the loadouts are too strong. Right, okay. What's supposed to be the game then? Where is it? 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 Oh, they keep... They look like just more of the infested. Level 70-75. Sure, that'll do a bit. Who's picking up pickups? Teleports. Not so much there's different types of attenuation. Yeah. Yeah, what's that? You thought you understood that damage attenuation was a thing? Haha, think again. It's not. Various different things. And you'll never be told which one. Ow. Didn't realise he was right there. It's bad enough that these guys have attenuation. It's also that they are immune to so many other features. Like, I can't crowd control it. And if I can't crowd control it, and I can't damage it properly, then what am I supposed to do with it? Why is the game difficulty based around removing the entire game? I don't get it.
Kalimos is happy. Is Kaya
Yeah.
happy?
Oh,
Hell
bollocks.
yeah. Those
I looked
four-legged
at chat for a
signs
moment. I
look
thought I
data
was
for
done
the
having to look at
I
the
know where I
game.
need to go.
I just walked into something. Thank you. I think I'll get to extraction before I have a look at that. Okay. Dopamine saying, problem with attenuation is it makes enemies a timer. Tank boss has attenuation, but it's not a problem because there is a mechanic to bypass it. Yeah. There you've got something to engage with. Absolutely. Feels frustrating as a player when, without explanation, a given enemy can barely be scratched by your build. Yeah. There's just no feedback.
Home stretch?
It's not like we can look at the numbers and try and figure out the math from that. Shit, if I don't want to do that, no one else wants to.
Remember when I'd get
But
you
more
all
broadly,
worked up?
is that even if you were to look at the numbers, it doesn't give you the information. It's not enough you can learn from. The simulacrum is our supposed testing environment, but I guess DE don't want us testing those kinds of mechanics there properly. That is weird to look at. Yeah. Yeah. Crowd control getting invalidated for endgame stuff, or just anything that's supposed to be a boss, also definitely stings. Ow. Yeah, it's all a thing. Grab this for the supply cache. Go turn it in. There we go. Okay, beat me to it. Fair enough. I thought I could kill it in time. I thought wrong. Bring up this. Grab the overguard again. Grab even more overguard. There we are. It's not Dante levels of overguard generation, but it is overguard.
I trust the kid, Vel. I do. But this is some heavy voodoo. What if... I don't know. What if we can't make things right?
Then we go down trying. But we do it together.
Aww. Do it together. D doesn't like the DPS meta, but makes anything worth CCing immune to CC. I don't know about D doesn't like the DPS meta. Hey, do you have anything to back that up? And don't tell me attenuation. That's not about D dislikes DPS. What they... Stupid bombers. What they do with attenuation is they're trying to make it where things don't die anticlimactically. My problem with that is that they've not given any alternative. It's just, no, you're not allowed. This is a game. We're supposed to be allowed to play it. The one rule against Toxin Xmas, never approach them. It approached me. I thought I would kill it quicklier. Quicklier? What the fuck is that? Quicker than that. Now, that's, again, friendly. There's too many humanoid-looking enemies. I can end up aiming at the weird moving friendlies. Especially as they don't have a name above their head. I've gotten so used to the concept that, oh yeah, moving thing without name, enemy, kill it.
Data to sift through now? My gods, I love you guys.
Our pleasure, kid.
Let's get out of here. Damage taken 95%. Hell yeah. You know I walk into the damage. Is that just more overguard? For God's sake. There we go. Rewards successfully claimed. Turn on enemy highlight. Honestly, I might just turn it back on again, yeah. That's not a bad shout. I try not to have it on all the time because it does look a little bit gaudy, but to be quite honest, the game is so visually intense, it is genuinely difficult to keep up with. Yeah. But there we go. Rewards acquired. An Amber Shard, Crimson Shard, Emerald Shard, 15 Pix Chips. Got PD pack over here as well. Arcane Universal Fallout, Arcane Hotshot. Good, and Arcane Bellicose. Various bits and pieces. If I head on over to Kaya,
Am I right?
and ta-da! There we go. Isn't that just a bundle of bits and pieces? On weak point kill, chance to drop, health orbs, energy orbs, ammo, ferroglands, and sport exchanges increased by 10%. Oh, cute. Taking damage whilst below health. Creates a molt clone. Fair enough. On heavy attack hits, transfer negative status effects onto enemies within 5 meters. Fair enough. Did you miss all the survey talk? No, not at all. We're starting with Archimedia. What would I say are a few good frames Hotshot is good on? That's quite the question. Let's have a look. Remind myself of the exact mechanics we're working with here. Hotshot. Gain weapon crit chance for 10 seconds when using abilities to inflict heat status effects on enemies, maximum 50 stacks. Okay, so literally any Warframe that can reliably apply heat status effects. All of them. So yeah, your Temple, your Mesa, your Lavos, your Protea, any of that lot. Ember. Chroma, probably. If you can put out heat status with abilities, this counts. Simply that. Because otherwise it's just, hey, when do you want crit chance on your weapons? With some subsumes, it is possible for every frame to use it. Exactly, yeah. If you want crit chance and you're putting out heat, then you can go for it. Whether it's the correct thing to use versus other arcanes, that comes down to the exact build and playstyle you're going for, and there is no way to give me that simple answer. If it were simple, there wouldn't be video after video after video of build guides out there. It would just be one singular video per channel going, here is the easy answer. And then we just shut down the game. Jason saying, so this was the second run through of Temple Archimedia. You used your own gear, equipped the 2 plus pix chip stickers, and you got the 2 bonus for 17 total this week. Fair enough. So if you rerun through, you can get a couple more pix chips if you want to go through that effort. Fair enough. I absolutely never will.
Minerva, ready when you are. Stand by for temporal shenanigans.
But that is that done, and in the wares I've got 25 pix chips, which would allow me to pick up a handful of these arcanes as well if I so wished. But I will just... Let's see, there's not any limit per... One per customer. Oh, there is a limit. Oh, well I might as well pick them all up then, mightn't I? There's no point saving the pix chips if I'm not allowed to spend them all at once. Yep, purchase limit reached. Wow, alright. Who's this character? They arrived with Tekra Encore.
Hope you got what you're after.
They are. Okay, that clears out this area. Let's leave out a whole Vania. Did I see the Nyx Mind Control Blood Altar Melee Affliction Synergy? No. I'm not familiar with that particular one. Let me guess. If it's Mind Control, Blood Altar, and Affliction... Melee Affliction? Am I missing something in how that works? Melee Affliction. Enemies affected by such gain additional when they're knocked down. Oh, okay, right. So you are making them immortal, dealing a bajillion damage to them. With Melee Affliction's making it possible to do that. And that's allowing them to stack up a bajillion damage for the mind control, right? Something to that effect. And it's led to people having like 12-digit damage bonuses. Yeah, I'll be honest, that sounds more like a bug than a feature. That sounds more like a bug. It might take D 2 years to fix, but yeah. Anywho. That run is done down there. I'm not going to change the loadout right now because we need to head on over to Temporal Archimedia now. It's like, no, Deep Archimedia. Gotta go do that run. Thank you, Bubba. Fair enough. It's too solo to be practical. I mean, solo gameplay exists, but fair enough.
Lloyd has tasked us with finalizing several experiments.
Warframe YouTube channel posted a PAX teaser. As suspected, next Prime is you ready? Fair enough. I won't put too much focus onto that. You notice there is a clip icon actually name. It says you're clip leader. Yeah, look at this. It says monthly top clips. The most viewed clip in the last month, which actually resets today. Most viewed clip is from yourself, Petra. 143 views on, and I quote, Ken gets destroyed by umbral polarity. Followed up by other clips here from others. All we need is a gas proc. Don't give him 100 umbral form and tell him to put it on something. Moments of utter horror and truly one of a kind. Whatever those clips are. So yeah, that's what the badge is. Yeah, you get a temporary badge if you make clips that people love to watch. So, let's see, what have we got here then? Dagath Korajaya, Sporothrix, EFV5 Jupiter and Harpak, Cantaria, Aklex and Agrit, Ekhain, an unknown Julskana, and Korafel. That's, Some of these weapons are not quite as interesting as others to me, I'll be quite honest. And in terms of frames, I've got 3 frames not exactly known for their standard forms of tanking. Jaya relying typically on either obscene shieldgate shenanigans or just pillage your way out of there. Core relying on please no. And Dagath doing weird things with not dying, or again shieldgate shenanigans. I'm not a fan of shieldgate tanking, I'm really not. Especially when restrictions start to come in. Sporothrix is definitely a weapon we can use here though, so that makes up for the others being, well, what they are. We've got transference is blocked. Well, that's fun. Let's just turn off a game mechanic. Max energy reduced by 75%. Another reason to not want to shieldgate. Energy exhaustion. Lose energy. Again, screw shieldgate. And gear embargo. Turn off yet another game mechanic. I remember now why I don't really do these on stream. Or at all, actually. I remember now. When the objective is, please stop playing the game how you've been unlocking and working on it. Yeah, I might just skip the Voster and go for a frame, yeah. Gear embargo is silly, given it makes some of the PD picks options entirely non-functional. Oh, that's fun. That is fun, yeah. Here are your upgrades for this specific mission type. You're not allowed them. And over here, so we have Disruption. All enemies can target and destroy conduits. Fun. All enemies have Overguard. Why is that one still a thing? Why is that one still a thing? All enemies have Overguard. It's gotta be one of the... Yeah, it's dumbest. There's no more accurate word. It's gotta be one of the dumbest modifiers. Because it looks at the concept of Overguard, looks as to why it was implemented and how it was implemented, and goes, nah, fuck that, give it to everyone. At least it's not on the mirror defense. True. And Devil's Bargain. Again, the ammo efficiency, blah 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 thing. Glyph inflation. Security system requires twice as many Vosphine glyphs to activate, like it wasn't already a problem. Entanglement. Enemies slain will reduce your speed, and slain enemies also explode. So stand back. And then we have Fissure Cascade. Fissures rip into the mission, causing the enemy level to go up by 1 every 10 seconds. Not a problem. Rupturing fragments replace shuffling fragments. Slightly more of a problem. And rogue variants equip weapons that deal extra damage to Overguard and Necromechs. Which is funny if you wanted to go for the please give me Overguard arcane for the Disruption mission. Because now they just blast it straight off of you. Alright. Let's just make our way through this, I guess. I might actually be even... No, I'll give Lavos to run through. So Lavos, Sporothrix, Canter, Ekine, because I'm not going to care about anything that ain't Sporothrix. Yeah. There is Lavo. Let's grab Coda Sporothrix, of course. So this needs to be that thing. I don't know if I've even finished leveling it. Oh no, yeah, it was leveled and formed. Okay, fair enough. And Ekine. Cool. I'm not even going to look at the modding on those two, but this I will double check. Set up for a gas approach. That should do fine. Yeah, that should do fine. Let's go with that. What's the worst that can happen? And I've still got Wormprime Verglass doing Wormprime and Verglass things. That was definitely attacking, wasn't it? Yep. Cool. Change main mod? Oh. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Did not pay attention to that, my bad. Alright then. Let's once again form up a squad. I'm going to close off the old tabs. First come, first serve. Who would like to join me on today's deep Archimedia run? Send me a message in game, the key engineer. I'll bring you on into the squad. Doesn't matter if you've been in the previous squad or not. It is just first come, first serve. So, Aliu getting first slot. James grabbing second spot. And third spot's going to Aegir. There we go then. Wait for the whole squad to get here. Give it a few seconds, just because of load time. And let's start this.
Experiments are threatened by the murmur as they near completion. We shall protect Master Entranti's.
There we go.
Remember, our aim is to safeguard Master Entranti's experiments.
Let's go blunder through this one. I could theoretically have gone for a mecha set approach here and brought a Predacite instead of good old Wormprime, but a little bit of extra fiddliness, I can't be bothered. You hope the mirror defense goes okay? I hope so too. What have we got? Lavos, Grendel, Revenant, Kalervo, and I imagine that Revenant is going to be using the protective orbit, so we're probably fine.
I shall monitor your progress from here.
Alright, we're on location. Let's start blowing things up. Oh, what the hell was that Caesar? Oh god. That was horrible. What was that? The whole thing just became a slideshow for a moment. Game did not like that? Yeah, but I'm wondering what it didn't like. And we got people going down. First key. This needs to go in over here. I will protect the conduit because we've got these unified purpose things. Everything can attack it. Ow. There we go. I'm getting sniped. Alright. That's in. I'll once again clean up in the area. At least the gun is pretty effective at doing said cleanup. Sweet, they've got that one down. Let's grab the next key. Oh, I just missed the stairs with that. Get ourselves on location here. Ah yes, electrified conduits. Because I wasn't taking enough damage from enough sources yet. Trying to aim for those weak spots. There we go. One more conduit and we'll have this half of the run complete. They could just respawn everything and force us to do it again. Well, that before it can be a threat. Focus on this. Beautiful. Not to keep aiming for the weak spots. Oh. It's not a problem, except here is an enemy that doesn't have a weak spot. Did I see Necromex social crawl with cold procs? Yeah, we can actually use the game mechanics to affect our enemies. It's beautiful. A novel concept, I know. But, I know exactly what you mean. It is nice to have control over them that way. Damn, that's a lot of energy drain. Don't know how I'm going to survive that. I'm going to roll back this way because it looks like there are keys on my UI. Yep. Oh, Aga got it. Help train! And Aga immediately goes down. I think Aga was running on 2 health then. Oof. Knocked me back. But we're all good. Hit them with all the gas procs. Cleans out the groups. This immunity makes you sad. At least cold procs got you back. Most of the time, yeah. Yeah, both viral and cold procs are... What's that? Both viral and cold procs are disabled against the Murmur boss. And... it just feels really weird. It genuinely just feels really weird. It's like, oh yeah... Here's a thing which slows down enemies, but it doesn't work. Here's a thing that allows you to deal more damage, but it doesn't work. Corrosive procs are disabled functionally because there's no armor. Magnetic procs are functional disabled because there's no shields or overguard on the target. You start to wonder what actually does work. Radiation. It's a boss, doesn't get confused in the same way. Impact. No mercy. Genuinely. we go. Have we got another key? There is a docket somewhere. Over this way. There it is. Grab that. Let's go plug this one in. Radiation prevents Xmas buffs? I suppose there is that, when the Xmas exist, yeah. Cold prop this into oblivion, and then just shoot it in the back until it stops. There we go. And there is another docket over here, so we can actually get straight onto this one. There we go. Okay, its hitbox is doing that thing again. There we go. For some reason when they jump and get slowed down, the hitbox doesn't quite seem to understand what happened. Again with the hitch! Okay. I'm gonna need a breather after this mission. Yeah, disjointed hitbox when Necromech does its little hop. Absolutely. I don't know why it does that, I just know it does it. Ah. Yeah, Ladybug, yeah. The only way to know the hitboxes have desynced is just when your gun stops working. You point at them and just the things that should happen don't. Oh, gear embargo, so I can't put down a Protector Spectre. Huh. I swear for a second I saw my Necromech and then it just... Yeah. Okay. Let's irradiate the area. Radiation should help keep them preoccupied of each other. Jeez, my screen is full of just noise. Why are we in a sauna? Why is there a sandstorm passing through? Looks like client host desync. I mean, it does look like it, doesn't it? When the Necromech hitbox is just in the wrong place, it looks like client host desync. Except I am the host. So how do I desync with myself? Place is dusty? Yeah. We need to sweep through. Host desync. It's just Murmur Tech at it again. You think you're in one place, but you're actually in another. Eternalism. The Necromech is on the floor, the Necromech is in the air. Both are true, neither is true. Only when the Strand of Kra is selected, only when you're, what do you call it? When your gun aligns with a particular essence, do you get to know which is true. Okay, moving to Vitrium. Necromantic defeated. Come on, let me up. Why is it just not wall jumping sometimes? What am I doing here? Oh, that. I didn't even see that. Brick. Whatever. Why are the Necromites marked in red? After all this time, the Necromites are still marked as enemies. Please, I beg of you, stop having me shoot at not enemies. Ah. Levels Enjoyer, going to use levels 3DA. I chose it despite the options. So I'm missing out on some Vossa for this, but let's face it, a little bit of Vossa I can skip. My options were Jaya, Dagath, and Korra. And whilst you can't see it, there is a minus 75% max energy and an energy drain effect going on. Which combined together is a big fat no. Oh, there's just so much dust. I'm just constantly applying radiation in the hopes that it just distracts enough enemies that we don't have a problem. Come on, you can make it. I think we got pretty much all the glyphs there. There we go. So many flashing lights? Oh, always. The bugs are Wally just messing with us. That is not an unreasonable take. And I hate that. Reload, there we go. Fucking seriously, my screen is awash with effects. You go back a few years, people are already saying, oh, how do you even see what's happening in Warframe? What's going on? Give me the few years ago Warframe back. At least when it comes to visuals, because yoikers! If I didn't have enemy highlights, sniping here would be impossible. You know. Just for the moment. Look how washed out I am. Find the enemies. Is that a live one? Yep. I'm dealing damage, so I think there's some over here. Yep. Yep. This is so much worse. Holy... I could barely see that one. Is there any others down there? I don't know. Move to Vitrium. Okay. Ah! That's filled up. Got him. Lots of new content so you keep the overlay map up. Yeah, I get that. I get that. This feels just like Helldivers 2, just be able to kind of vaguely make out the enemies in the smoke and dust. Not a ringing endorsement of the visuals. Also, I would use the minimap more, but a lot of the times it's like, yeah, there's an enemy near you, behind a pillar. There's some up there. There it is. Fragment, dude, fragment things. I know I can't bullet jump. There we go. I shall snipe from up here. Give me a moment. There's some living ones. I can always pick up a weapon that deletes everything in the general direction. You say I could, but can I? It's elite deep Archimedia. I can't just pick up a weapon. I had to pick a Warframe that could actually tank all of this. I didn't want to go down every few moments. So I am left with a sniper, a really crappy explosive. It's not even explosive, just throwing knives, and a hammer. Yay, Amber Shard. Bitch from kind of dying, we were fine. We were fine. Mostly. Hang on, wait. That was weird. Alright, it is exterminate time.
Master Atlantis resources has provoked a response. Safety's off. Remember to breathe.
Why is that not hitting? Why was that not hitting the enemy? Or was it hitting and just doing pox all damage? Come on. Whatever that was dealt with, okay. Oh, his other arm is on the other side from me. There we go. That's dead. They need a different animation screen for failing success. It's only with the mirror defense in this mode that it matters. And that's because it gives you that sudden effect. Rather than gently closing out the mission. That's all there is to it, really. It's just a very awkward closeout. Yeah, rather than just take a moment, have Lloyd, Necroloid that is, go, "We have successfully defended the Vitrium. We may move on to the next objective." Don't know why I went more Fibonacci there, but it's fine. Bit of half and half. Instead, just the screen comes up like you did just lose, but then you see you won. It's all a thing. I have no weapon stacks because everything has been dead or unheadshottable. And this doesn't have a head. I'm just going to shoot something else, quite frankly. There we go. Now I can hit it. I am definitely not the voice actor for Fibonacci. Not even close. Besides, I imagine that voice acting gigs are going to be rather difficult. Already are difficult, but even more difficult to have, given the advent of AI as it is.
I saw on the screens.
The changes, the strides made in the last couple of years. Yeah.
Thank you.
No bueno on that.
Experiments. I shall see you upon my return.
Hey, teleport shard, that's nice. Oh.
One must make the
We got 3 shards from the temporal. We got 4 shards here from Neeb, one of which Talforge. 7 shards, pretty nice. As you're saying, feel like the anatomizer should have a headshot multiplier on the glowing gem. It's kind of too tanky for your liking. Not only should it have that, as far as I'm concerned, when you do a mercy kill, you grab that part and crush it, showing it's a weak spot. And if you actually try to shoot it, you deal 0 damage because it's not got a hitbox. Make it make sense. 0 damage, no hit to the weak spot that you mercy kill. Don't miss it. AI voice from now is still in the Uncanny Valley. It's still a couple years before it really goes mainstream. Do you understand what you've just said? Like, you start off, like this is some kind of dismissal counterpoint. And then proceed to say basically what I am saying. The voice acting is indeed in a very difficult place because of AI that has come on in strides in the last couple of years.
Word to the wise, Tenno. Do not ask about that.
And whilst there is some level of Uncanny Valley, if you're thinking of the TikTok voice, that one's not exactly a expensive model, well put together to try and sound fully human. You just have a slightly more refined setup than that, and it passes. Doesn't need to be perfect, just needs to be good. And they're getting there. Well. So a question for you, have you tested Arcade Universal Fallout at all? I don't know what there is really to test on it. How do you mean, Alsu?
I was thinking.
What is it you're hoping that I've tested?
What you need. Don't want to tell you your business. Be with you in 5.
Doesn't need to be good, just need to be believable. I mean, believable and good are kind of in the same ballpark, are they not, Coffee? If it's believably bad, what is it? What actually is it? You. $30 seconds for value. Okay. I also say, in fact, it seems to work inconsistently. It's insanely effective on Corvex, while on Nix of Chaos it seems to not work. Okay. When you say seems to not work, if you're experiencing a individual frame issue and you can't narrow down if it is just an intentional failure, if there is something going wrong. I'll Site 9? No, just 2 people. Anyway. Oh, Site 18. Oh, I get it. Now, if you're having issues with just an individual frame in an individual circumstance where you feel like it should work but it's not working, then that's a bug report to submit. Who are we missing here? Just needing James to step down.
This is gonna hurt. You need all 4 keys.
Fair enough, Devin. Fair enough. Say exactly the same thing again. That's fine.
It's the only
You're
way to-
making the same point like I didn't catch it the first time. So, I'll just leave that one there. Can I? Oh my god, this fucking...
Ready? To leave the anchor hold.
So,
access
frustration there.
terminal.
Trying to activate the thing. But if you activate it while someone else is near to you, it never actually activates. Because... You know, I actually don't know why. I don't know why it doesn't activate there. It's a goddamn terminal. How did they manage to mess that one up?
Coded with partial coordinates.
I have no answer on that one.
Yeah, even he got lost down here.
Isn't it because it drops a pickup? But that was how it was, that it would drop a pickup and that other people could be given the pickup that someone else had activated. So then they changed it so that the pickup wouldn't be given to a random person nearby. It would actually be given to the person who activated the console. But still somehow there was an issue with just activating the console. And I think I might end up regarding Archimedia, Netracells, in exactly the same way as I've regarded the Carl missions. Sure, there is gameplay to be had there, but between the anti-fun mechanics and the lack of polish, I'm kind of reaching my limit. Fix the bug by introducing another. I'm not sure if it necessarily introduced another or just by removing the one bug we still become more aware of the other one. Something to that effect. I don't know, honestly. I can't see the code. I just see the effect it has on gameplay.
Security's freaking out. The Netracell doors won't open till you clear.
At least we have enough options that we don't do this mission 5 times over now. That's nice. Elio's been arrived. Where the hell is Elio? Just over there. Okay. The thing I suddenly just got popped, fair enough. Yoink. The only thing that's redeemed Netracell's view is Sightstone trivializing this portion. Oh, I hadn't even thought of that. Yeah. Yeah, you could just kill things miles before they get to the zone. That is... That's kind of ridiculous, yeah. That hadn't even occurred to me. There we are. Oh god, let's deal with this. No, it went in the air. Now where is its hitbox? I think it's there. There we go. I don't know what I'm hitting, but it ain't dead. There we go. Necromite. Looks like we've got people on it. I'll just stay here. Sightstone requires hitting headshots though, which is really hard against Murmur. True. Keeping up those consistent headshots is a difficulty. Especially with multiple enemies not having a headshot. Or any other weak point. That is a fun one. Sightstone's the hardest Warframe? I wouldn't go that far. I absolutely would not go that far. Sightstone has built-in invisibility. How are you doing with Banshee? I feel like Sightstone can solo this mission. Banshee would struggle. Not can't do it, but would struggle. Where's the weak spot? Where's the... Never mind, it doesn't matter. Banshee's fine if you have a Revenant and Dante on your team. Sure.
Brex didn't want anyone in here.
Depends on the build. Banshee deals bonkers damage. Side deals bonkers damage. Depends on the build. Dante kind of hard.
Albrecht? Okay,
Alright.
next time.
You need to learn like 3 spell combos? Sure, okay. Everyone's welcome to their feelings on frames. That's absolutely fine. I'll leave you with that. You can mod Banshee for tank? I know, I made a health tank Banshee. Still a thing. In terms of making Banshee health tank, it's more difficult than it is making many other frames tank. And still perform what they do best in a mission. But there we are. Hey! Got a Tal Forged out of that at least. That was worth it. Whew, that was worth it. Too bad Evade doesn't work on Banshee Sonar weak points. Yup. Absolutely correct. Elliot, James, Agia, GG's. GG's on that. There we are. It took us, what, 1.5 hours? We got through EDA, ETA, and Netrocells. Picked up 8 Archon shards. Take that once a week, bloody Archon hunts. Also, 8 Archon shards in 1.5 hours. How long would it take me to do the Archon hunt? Spy mission, that'd take a few minutes. Disruption, that'd probably be like 8-ish minutes. And then the showdown, that'll be done in a few minutes. So, probably about close to 20 for the lot. Not exactly, but closing in on 20. Actually, with loading times, it might be about 20. And that'll be for 1 shard. Years. Don't forget to buy Bird 3 shard. True, let's go grab that as well. Because again, screw car missions. Plus whatever additional reward, it's a sortie tier additional reward. Not exactly a concern to me at this point. Alright, shiny treasures, Archon shard, grabbed. Cool. How many spare shards do I have already? Good question, let's go find out. There's a former bundle in it if you're lucky. Sure, there's also a legendary core if you're lucky. Archon shards, I've got 36 crimsons, 22 ambers, 38 azures, as well as now 4 emeralds, 5 topaz, and a violet shard. All just kind of lying around there. Ain't that wonderful? Seeing as I have this Cellforge, let's just, I'll need to refill the bile. Let's just feed this guy real quick. There we go. Take out Mother Gods and chitin. Nanospores. Don't even doing 5 for now. Terra Globes and Rubido. There we go. Slap that off of there. Put this one on. And I've got 5% more duration. Yay! Very good. You wonder how much plat red shard will go for? No idea. Makes 100 for sure, it's a rare thing for most people. I don't know on that. You'd be suggesting that that would be worth 3,600 platinum. That sounds like a lot. That does sound like a hell of a lot. And bear in mind, I haven't done ETA or EDA for weeks now. This is the first time today that I've done it this entire month, and I don't recall if I did them at all in March. At least the ones that are available. Obviously, ETA is still new. But EDA and Netracels, I don't think I did it at all in March. Don't know if I did any in February, if I'm quite honest. Because the whole mode just kind of bogs me down a bit at this point. Bogs me down. So, I've been skipping out on these supposedly valuable shards. Yo! MH Blackie! Thank you very much for the raid. Welcome on in, everyone who's just come on over with a Blackie there. Welcome, welcome. We've just come out of doing EDA, ETA, and Netracels. Thank goodness all of that is over, let me tell you. My word. I am satisfied for that to be done today. We encountered a few too many bugs, quirks, and issues I would like to not encounter again till 2026 at least. Cheers for the raid. Hope you've had yourself a wonderful stream yourself. Don't be saying, yeah, you're kind of forgetting just how endgame EDA ETA is. 100 plat is just NCS of the people that wish to pay to skip to having shards without having to get ETA EDA. I get where you're coming from, Novami. I get where you are coming from. I still don't believe it would end up being that expensive. I don't know that about 100 for a regular Crimson Shard. But, maybe I'm off the mark on that. Part of my assessment is that I'm trading off the whole difficulty to get with amount of platinum people are willing to spend. Because if people are willing to spend out that, if it's 100 plat per shard, that'd be 500 plat to shard up one frame. Are we talking about the same people who are still refusing to purchase most arcanes or mods? Yeah? Here we are from Blackie saying, I hope you're all having a great Wednesday, so you're alive. Remember, haven't ever raided you so far. Well, now you have. Much appreciated on that. This is in fact your first message ever as well. At least in this chat. Welcome on in. Did I get a good bunch of shards? I got a pretty serious mix of shards, yeah. So we got a Talforge blue, Talforge red, a green, a yellow, another red, I think. I lost track at this point. 8 shards in total. No, wait, 9 shards because of bird 3 as well. Because it was 4 from ETA, 3 from EDA. Or was it the other way around? One of those. 1 from the Netracel, 1 from bird. Yeah, that's 9 shards. Yeah. Oh, fair enough. Well, thank you very much for dropping by. Much appreciated. That is a very shiny message. Good lord, I've never seen that before. Hello there, Yoto. You're veteran. Hello there. Also saying, more comparable to Energize, which runs 20 and unranked, probably 2 to 3 times more effort to get on average than a shard. They are more farmable, but I suppose there is the drop rate on them. Let me think. If I go PC drops, let's think about this a moment. Energize, wait for it to load. Don't make that sound, you're fine. Okay, Energize, yeah, it's a 5% drop rate from the Hydralist. So you need to do 20 of them to get 1. Now the value of it is mitigated by the value of other items as well. I suppose, kind of technically. Just slightly. Because people are more happy to run Eidolons, seeing as the only value is not just that 5%, there are other things of value. From Blackie, by the way, I know you've always loved Lavos. What's your opinion about his Prime fashion? I mean, I'm running the Prime right here. And yeah, it's an upgrade. It looks meaner. It looks sleeker. It looks nice. People seem to be very unhappy with the old Lavos. And to be honest, yeah, sure, not the most pretty frame. Not the most beautiful to behold. Not at all. That was never the intention. It's supposed to be a little bit ugly, quite frankly. Not ugly as in badly put together, but ugly as in unconventional. But the Prime definitely snazzed it up. Definitely snazzed it up. Energize is still lowish after Belly of the Beast. True. Okay. So let's have a look. If we're going to use Energize as the most ridiculous point, because it is a ridiculous one, but let's have a look. Arcane Energize. If you want to get yourself a maxed out one, it's currently rattling around about 500 platinum. A little bit under that. 500 platinum, you get an arcane that you can slot into almost every single Warframe in the game, and it's hugely, hugely impactful. Hugely impactful. For anything people might shake their head at, oh, well, other things exist. Yes, other things exist, but Energize is still very, very strong. Other options have been brought up to kind of meet Energize a bit. So you look at, for example, on Equilibrium. Equilibrium is immediately available at the start of the game now, rather than having to farm for it. And Health Orbs have double the effectiveness that they used to have, which translates through Equilibrium. I didn't see that coming when they made the change. And they drop guaranteed 2 of them, if I recall correctly, from Xmas units, meaning that an Xmas, when you've got a fully equipped Equilibrium, isn't just 25 energy, also guaranteed, it's 135 energy. It's kind of bonkers. But still, Energized remains amazing, and that, as I say, equips to almost any frame. Almost any frame. Whereas shards, you put one shard onto one frame and it's there now. If you spend the resources to move it somewhere else, cool, you moved it somewhere else. At the cost of resources. How many of us are actively shuffling their shards around when hopping between frames on the regular? For starters, you can't even afford to keep doing it. The helmet locks up. When I fuse my shards and tile my levels out, doesn't matter enough to me. Here's the thing, Alsu. If I fused up this one, I go from a 10% ability duration bonus to a 15%. My duration at this point would be then 185% rather than 180. I'm barely going to feel that. Even if it hits a breakpoint, it's not going to hit a substantial breakpoint of any concern to me. As for these shards, they don't need an upgrade. This gives me max corrosive. Oh, you know it's minimal, but let's be honest, bling. Sorry chat, we have to take a moment. Alsu doesn't understand. We're going to have to take a moment on this one. Alsu doesn't understand. Alsu. Don't start talking to me about bling when I already have Umbrals in my goddamn Aura and Exla slot. And I know, come October, this is going to become a 10 Umbral Eurali. Don't talk to me about Blink. What is this? Twitch's fault. That's what this is. It's Twitch's fault. But there you are. Saboteur with the hydrate. I'm actually out of tea, so it's going to have to be water one. Cheers. Umbral Aura? Yes. That is an Umbral polarity on the Aura slot and on the Exla slot. You cannot have any Umbral mods here. There are only 3 Umbral mods in the game, and yet DE somehow makes it possible to apply that many Umbrals to a frame. And you put the Umbral in the wrong spot, or rather the right spot, and then you move it to that spot. Ah. Yeah. This is what it takes to cure cancer, apparently. This is what it takes to cure cancer. It's a thing. Will I do the same on your Ready Prime? It was never my choice. It was never my choice. I also say, yeah, I'd still tell my emeralds because it lets you get to 10 stacks on bosses. I get you. I get where you're coming from, Alsu. I get where you're coming from. That, yes, theoretically, and potentially practically, I could max out these shards, and max out this shard here, and have the full glow up on Lavos, and get that full power together, max it all out, And you'd look at my shards, you go, and look, Ken, you can do it right now. It's right there, available for you to do. All I would need to do is take some of these green shards and fuse them together, and look at that, I can have a towel forged, and then I'd need to do it again. That's a lot of shards squished together, just so that I can apply a little bit more corrosive to the couple bosses that it basically doesn't matter on. Which is why I have not done it. I solve practical problems. Not problems such as what is beauty, because that falls within the purviews of your philosophy. I stay with the practical stuff. Did I do Starbase content some time back? I'm going to say no, because I have no idea what you're actually referencing with Starbase there. So yeah, no. Must have just been another Brit. If I was solving problems such as what is beauty, I wouldn't be playing Lavos. I see. I see. Okay, we're like that today. That's fine. We'll just add another to the mental ignore list. Now, on that note, let's talk about the survey I put out. For those of you who missed it, I put out a survey asking for people's responses and opinions on the content that I put out on YouTube and Twitch, as well as the state of Discord and state of the Patreon. I put out requests for feedback, and feedback I got, plenty of it. And I spent all of Monday digging through that feedback. It took hours to dig through it and categorize it all. Genuinely hours. But that's what happens when I put out a form and get, let me see, how many was it? 1,315 responses. 1,315. And to my astonishing surprise, only a single one of them, just one, had to be outright rejected for being intentionally vulgar and problematic. I'm impressed. Less than 0.1% of responses were problem responses. Yeah, there were some jokey responses or silly responses. There was someone who suggested that the stream would be better if I didn't have a face cam on because they're not used to it due to my videos. I don't think that one quite understands how this works here, but I get it, you know, I'm not present in the videos, I just speak over them, but still. It's wild when you think only 69k responded to the DE one. It is interesting when you think about it, yeah. It is interesting. The DE got 69 times as many responses. Actually, less than that. They got 69k, I got 1.3k. So I got about a 50th of the responses. Somewhere in that ballpark. I got about a 50th of the responses. But that doesn't mean that my viewer base is 1/50th of the Warframe population. You have to remember that there is a matter of engagement and spread. So you'll get more engaged people, people who are more interested in filling out these kinds of things, both catching my survey and Dee's survey, whereas your more average player, not only have they not heard of me, they also just don't really care to pick up on surveys. They're too busy just playing the game for 1 hour a week at most. So there is definitely a bias on that side. And there are various other biases, which was part of my assessment of the responses. Because it's not just going through them and understanding what's actually being said, but also then seeing where the lies are in the data. Because no one individually is lying, but the data lies. There are 3 types of lies, they say. Lies, damn lies, and statistics. And of the 3, statistics is definitely the worst. So to give you an example, I put a full graph breakdown of server responses for what people would like to see more and less of over on YouTube. I put that breakdown up over on Patreon. So if you are a proper cuppa supporter, you can have a look at the fuller breakdown of that. But for example, one of the listings here one of the things was the people who said they want to see more series like the Zero to Hero series versus people who said they wanted to see less of that. And it's a very interesting one, that one in particular. If I grab the actual numbers here... where was it? There it is. Yeah. So of those that called out that they like and want to see more Zero to Hero or other challenge/series style stuff, that was 77 of the respondents said that. Whereas only 19 people said they want to see less of it. That they don't want to see that as much on the channel. So that would suggest, 77 to 19, that's massively in favour of Zero to Hero, correct? But, in the very same survey, of the 1,300-ish responses, only 520 said that they regularly watch, or just enjoy watching the Zero to Hero series. So if only about a third of those who responded to the survey actually watch the stuff, but then of that survey, what's like 80% of the people who call it out say they want more of it, you realise that there is a mismatch on the numbers there. There's a mismatch of the statistics. It has to be weighed up. And part of that is the paradox of the minority. A phrase I've coined myself, but there's probably a proper name for it out there somewhere, but I like the way it sounds. The paradox of the minority. And this is something that you'll see a lot in surveys. If someone knows, or at the very least believes, that they are in a minority opinion on something, they will go to extra steps to make sure that their opinion is heard. When I've done polls asking about what people think of certain parts of Warframe, when someone has responded and they've seen, oh wait, my response isn't matched by the community, I must go to the comment section. And so the poll has it just one way, but the comments seems to lean the other way. Silent majority versus loud minority? Not quite that, no. Not quite that. It's a slightly different thing. It's not about being silent versus loud. It's about realizing that one is in the minority and wanting to make sure that that minority doesn't become lost. It's a natural thing. I've seen it time and time and time again. And so that is what is present in these same statistics. Those 77 people who called out that they like the Zero to Hero series, they want to see more things like that, they're specifically calling out, not just because they enjoy it, but because they want to make sure that that opinion is heard, because they know it's not a popular opinion. Whereas those who are saying they don't like it, they are, again, specifically calling out, but that's going to be much more of a just, I really don't like it, rather than the middle ground opinion of, Lady would say, I do think the I enjoy watching this and I want more of this are not always the same. Love the Dan series, also think the ratio of it to non-Dan videos is good, thus I do not want more of it. Understandable, yeah. Understandable. And that is also part of the swing of things, like, where do people's opinions lie? There was a reason I didn't put a lot of middle ground potential answer stuff. I was looking for affirmative answers. Want more of, want less of. Particularly enjoy, particularly dislike. Because middle ground answers are useless. The vast majority of everything is a middle ground. What I wanted from the survey was what people were actually feeling and thinking about. What was on their mind, what was present. Yo, guys. Hello. What's up, Dan? Ah, they're saying Dan. We're on Engineer today, not on Dan. Although we are talking about Dan a little bit as well. From Sam Sullivan saying, I personally love the series because I like watching stuff that's stuff like that and playing along since I'm a middle road player. Only play 8 to 10 hours a week, spread across 7 days. Fair enough. How many hours do I have logged if I measure it in hours per week? Because I've been playing since late 2019. Let's just say 2020 for a start. So That is 2020, 2021, 2, 3, 4, and then we're a bit into 5. We are about a third of the way in. So that's 5.3 years, 52 weeks of that. 2, 4, 7, 5 hours divided by that many weeks. That puts me at 9 hours a week average. Oh shit. That's just mission time. That's not poring over the wiki time. That's not making videos time. That's not me sat here talking at you time. That's just... Oh, wow, okay. What do you know? Anyway, yeah. Alright, Blackie, you take care. Thank you again for the raid. Have yourself a good one. Got the confirmation, you ready, Prime? That we have, yes. That we have. Now, there are lots of different details that came out of this survey of particular interest. What do people want to see more of? Top answers, Warframe guides, in-depth mechanics, things which are off-meta and niche builds. It was interesting that there was a couple responses of people saying they want more meta stuff. Just curious enough. A number of people saying they want less meta. Ignoring why it's meta, I suppose. A little confused by some of the responses. Like, people suggesting they want to see less tier lists from me. There is one individual that specifically felt they needed to add to the survey that I should do less tier list stuff. When did I last do a tier list? What tier list have I done? I'm not sure how I can do less. There are some things I can't help out with on that. It's similar to the person who said that they would like to see me do less about the lore of Warframe. Okay, yeah. There were some people who requested I do fewer Warframe guides. Warframes in my Warframe channel? How dare? So there are some responses where you just kind of you take a big old bag of salt, and then the whole bag of it. Yeah. This could maybe be read as you're not doing it, keep not doing it. Yeah, sure, yeah. You thought I was responding to a Brozyme survey? Hey, let's not bring others into this. Come on now. Let's not. Down that way lies some serious toxicity I do not want to get into. Clearly I need to do negative numbers of tier lists? Maybe. I mean, that does remind me of a complaint I got on a video at one point. Which was... What was it? Yeah, something to the tune of... Bro's so out of ideas he has to cover existing Warframes. And I had to read it a couple times, make sure I was actually reading the correct words there. Out of curiosity, how would you have me cover a Warframe that doesn't exist? I didn't get a response to that. They just never replied. I wonder why. But yeah. The majority of responses, however, are what one would expect, and that is it gives me a good spread of understanding as to what people are looking for, what people notice, what people enjoy, what people don't enjoy. I think I mentioned on a previous stream what came out of the Twitch responses. The Twitch responses are far fewer than the YouTube responses, and that's just because more people watch me over on YouTube than do on Twitch. It's just how it works. Over the D&D Warframes, a few people did ask for more of that, yeah. I gotta say, I had a guy call me a DE shield gets plat per video. Oh god. If I was offered by DE just plat per video, I would politely tell them where to shove it. Plat is not payment. That's not how this works. And those of you who've been around know well enough that I have indeed been sponsored by D from time to time as well. So definitely if they then turned around and said, hey, would you make a video for Blatt, I would politely say what I have to say on that matter. Getting paid exposure? Oh god, that'd be even worse. Imagine trying to offload all those melee exposures. Hey guys, don't mind me, I just have 1,000 melee exposure to sell. Gotta make rent with my items that I can't sell out of the game. Yeah, that would be bad. So, in terms of the Twitch details, it was actually surprisingly focused. Surprisingly focused in the responses I got in the survey as to what people like about the streams and what people don't like about the streams. And as much as I did go over this previously, I'm going to go over it again because I think it's just very interesting how it comes out. So in terms of likes, what people really like about Twitch streams and want me to keep doing, there were a few throwaway things here or there, like the behind the scenes of content creation, good background audio. I think that person means that they just like having me on in the background, I guess. Some of the goofiness. Some people like that there's goal to every stream. Most streams, anyway. But those are all smaller responses. The bigger responses are clear outliers. The biggest responses, going for the bottom in 4th place, was the ability to ask questions and get answers direct from the engineer. Hi there. Yes, I am in fact live. You can ask questions. Yep. Next follow-up on that is the building that happens. Build design, theory crafting, any kind of answer that fit into that aspect. Put it all into one category of building, because that's what it all comes down to, really. The theory crafting, the testing, the design to make builds happen. The second most liked thing is the interaction. So not just Q&A, but just ability to directly interact. You say something in chat, I'm likely to respond to it. If I miss it, it's because there's too many messages, or because it's melee exposure giveaway. There's not really anything I can add to that. Without just running with the same joke into the ground. But yeah, nothing against you, Copy, just the first message I saw that I hadn't responded to. Pre-recorded stream, pre-recorded answers, pre-recorded chat, clearly. Oh yeah, it's paid actors all the way up. Absolutely. You see the moderators? Paid moderators. No, they wish. They wish. There is not a melee oh, for goodness sake, Elsie. There is not a melee exposure giveaway. No. There is not. And then the top answer for what people liked most about the streams is that they're laid back. Now this again was a few different responses that fit into the same category. Some people refer to it as it's laid back, some people enjoy the chill vibes, some people enjoy the calm atmosphere. I do wonder what some people are watching when they describe me like that, but there we go. Yeah. Each comment is actually 10p directly to your Warframe account. Sure. Yeah, go ask DE for it. Don't tell them I sent you. Just curious, what do I think about a 280 range gyre? I'll be honest, I don't think about it. But if it works for you, enjoy. Fatal Error, say hello, first time chatter, avid fan from YouTube. How are you liking the new Sporothrix? It's just another Sporothrix, I'll be quite honest. It's basically just the Sporothrix again. With like a 60% uplift in damage because Progenitor bonus, but it's otherwise just another Sporothrix. There's nothing special about it. Well, it's easier to farm. So, 60% more damage, yay. Easier to farm, yay. If you have a Riven, it's less than 60% extra. That's what that comes down to. Now, the dislikes. There were fewer things people marked that they disliked rather than they liked, which is good. If people by and large dislike my stream, you wouldn't be here. And that is also something to account for in this kind of survey. The majority of people that dislike my streams or dislike my videos don't see the survey because they dislike my content, they don't engage with it, they don't hear about the survey. It wasn't out very long by design. I already got 1,300 responses. There's only so many I can go through. So these dislikes are actually very significant in what they have to say. Very significant. And I took a note of every single one of them. Some things were just individual people calling them out. So one person was upset with backseaters in chat. One person was upset with the repetitive nature of some stream content. One person was upset that I use a face cam. One person expressly said they don't like watching dev streams. One person had a grievance, but they didn't want to say what it was. On the survey where I'm asking for feedback. I can't help you. I just can't. 2 people said there wasn't enough gameplay on stream. Speaking of, let me just load a mission, I guess. Because, yeah, we've just objectively not had any gameplay for the last, 20-ish minutes? Maybe a bit more? Let me just shoot some stuff whilst I review this. I don't have enough screens for all this. Hold on. Let's move that there. Now I can read chat, look at these, and play the game. There we are. That works. Half hourish? Okay, fair enough. Yeah, let's swap this out for the base assist a moment. There we go. Set to blast. Lavos set to weapon max. Yeah, that should do the trick. Crit support, because I can. Swap this out to Volclock. And let's just kill shit for a bit. Your issue is there isn't Subway Surfers gameplay on the side of the stream. My issue is I have no idea what Subway Surfers looks like. And that's probably for the best. I've heard of it, but only in people mocking it on Reddit. I have no idea what it actually looks like. I don't know even the genre that Subway Surfers is. Is it... No, I don't know. For all I know, it could be a Bejeweled clone. Do I remember Jungle Run? Is that the one where there's just a guy running forwards and it's like a forward-facing platformer rather than side-scrolling? If so, never played it, just seen people playing it on their phones and went, okay, fair enough.
Life support has been cut off.
Temple Run, is that another one of the same? Is that the name of the genre or just another competitor in the area? I don't understand. I don't do these things. If it's on mobile, it doesn't exist to me. Anyway, flap, flap. Yeah, so this gun's pretty effective, by the way. Don't know if you knew that. It's pretty effective. I unintentionally one-shot a Demolisher with a slightly different build earlier. That was impressive. There'll be a video coming out about it. Maybe tomorrow. I would like to get it done tomorrow, but knowing me, it might be Friday. I'd like to get it done tomorrow. I've been a bit slow at making videos recently, I acknowledge that. I have been slow. Also one of the complaints received, not enough content. So, once we got some background gameplay, let's just go through some of these other bits. So, let's say, yeah, 2 people said there was not enough gameplay on streams. 2 people said it was too chaotic. Meanwhile, 5 people said these streams are too low energy. So, run that one through. Like I said earlier, 3 people are happy how streams appear to have a clear goal. Contrasted with one person who said that they don't like how they don't know what's going on in a stream when they join in late.
I delivered a life support capsule to the area.
I put stream titles in, and if you join late, you join late. It's a live stream. I guess that's just going to happen. Some of these are hard for me to really address, if there's even anything to address, but yeah. Again, the things which are the major responses, the ones that loads of people say, those are the things I actually want to address. Because that's what matters to majority of the population of viewers. Hello, Addy. How are you triggering the bot? As one does. I mean, that just goes to show how frequently it would happen, but yes. I have a bot message set up to respond to the phrase, "What did I miss?" Because of how frequently people would say that exact question, unironically, to a live stream. I just felt like the better way to answer it was just to get the bot to do it. Just get the bot to do it.
Get ready for a capsule.
But no, the more common complaints, the ones which hold more water perhaps. 4 people saying it was low energy. Sorry, 5 people saying it was low energy. 6 people said I do not stream enough. Valid. You want more hours out of me. I get it. There's only so many hours that I can commit to content creation in general without then compromising my life. And when it comes to choosing where to spend that time, it's a choice between spending it on stream, on Patreon stuff, on YouTube stuff, or somewhere else entirely. You know, TikTok or something. So, I get it. A lot of you, I'm sure, would like me to be live more. If you could get more live stream of Ken, you wouldn't say no to that. I absolutely get it. 6 people complained about the ads, but also acknowledged, in the majority case, that that's pretty much out of my control. And I'm very thankful that the majority of the responses that did complain about the ads acknowledged it is outside of my control. We have the minimum amount of ads here to make it whether there's no pre-rolls, so you get straight into the content if available. If I could make that lower, I probably would, but when I tested a while back the difference between using pre-rolls or using mid-rolls, based on viewership numbers, people preferred the mid-rolls. So that's why we have it that way. And full disclosure, the channel does make more by having mid-rolls rather than pre-rolls. It's not a lot more, but it is more. So yeah. Ken made costume, TikTok dances, QTCC rewards when. Okay, that's half of those words I do not like, happy hour. Cheers to hydrate, Addy. Oh no, I'm burning. Oh, I got pushed out of the burning. Well, that was convenient. Starts at the beam, someone else just shoves me out of it. These grenadiers sure are an interesting source, aren't they? Also, this gun is really effective.
Cheers indeed.
Thank you, Eddie, for 100 bits. Now, what were these other complaints? Top 3 complaints now. The third highest complaint is that I simply do not stream in the right time zone. And the majority, again, were acknowledging that that's just a thing that happens. If you work in the US daytime, you're probably working when I start streaming, because I'm not US based. I start streaming 7 PM UK. Even on the closest time zone in the US, that's still 2 PM US. That's going to get in the way. And considering that I stream Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, 2 out of those 3 streams are during standard working hours. There's not really a solution to that. I already stream at an odd enough time that it has an impact on my my day-to-day schedule with regards to interacting with my time zone. It's already shifted in that regard. So, if I were to stream any later, that would just have even more cascading negative effects. There are various things I would like to get involved with, but can't because they happen on a Wednesday or Friday or Sunday evening. Straight up. So yeah, time zones are a problem and there's absolutely no fixing that. I've gone for the best middle ground slot that I can. Granted, I know that there are those of you who are further to the east who would rather I streamed earlier, just as much as those of you to the west who would rather I streamed later. This is the best middle ground I can give. And again, if I streamed more hours, sure, theoretically it would be better, but again, it's a trade-off. Where are those hours going to go, and what are they going to take from? It's all a thing. And the vast majority of those who did make that their complaint acknowledged exactly that, pretty much. Happy hour say I'm here because I can't watch Twitch in evening US time. Yeah, there you are then. At least we have the VOD channel. True, there is the VOD channel. It is exceedingly underused compared to just watching on Twitch, but you know, that's also to be expected. Because the biggest part of... the biggest part overall, if we combine 2 categories together, is be able to interact and ask me questions. You can't do that on a VOD. You just can't. So it doesn't have the same value there. I get that. So, top 2 complaints. Top 2 complaints that were submitted in the form. Number 1 was number 2, second place, was complaining that chat sucks. That's the summary, basically. There were multiple responses, just unhappy with the chat feature, with the nature of chatters, how chat acted. That's what it sums up as. But that's number 2 place. Because number 1 was my attitude towards chat. For every 2 people that complained about chat, there were 3 people complaining about how I would respond to chat. Oh, come on, come back. I'm giving gameplay for the people who don't want to just listen to me. So yeah, complaints about chat are including general backseating, those who would have stupid questions, those who would try to irritate Mr. Streamer, things to that effect. And then complaints about me were being rude, obnoxious, snippy, overly dismissive, linger too long on someone asking stupid questions or saying stupid things in chat, spending too much time disproving someone rather than getting on with it. Things to that effect. What do you subsume on Jaya? Pillage. Jaya is one of those frames where the correct answer is a specific answer, it's pillage. She loves it. You were told there were no stupid questions? Yeah, those same people who say there's no stupid questions like to hand out participation trophies. And feel like everyone can do anything if they put their mind to it. No. No. That we do not live in such a rosy little utopia, and there are stupid questions. Yeah. It depends on if the question comes from a place of thought or stupidity. If a question seems daft but comes from a place of genuine thought, it's not a stupid question. If, however, the question is born of stupidity, then yes, it's a stupid question. Hi, Lucky. Welcome on in. It's like, it's not technically a stupid question. If someone is watching the stream and asks, what frame is that? I know it's written on the screen at the top right, but the resolution could be low enough, they could be watching on a small enough device that they might not notice out there. If, however, there is a video about Lavos, and someone posts the comment, what Warframe are you using at such and such a timestamp? And it's Lavos, that's a stupid question. That's just a stupid question. There's no fixing that. Lucky, thank you very much for subscribing at tier 1 up onto 6 months. You got that lovely golden badge next to your name. Much appreciated there. And I hope you have yourself a wonderful day. Oh, what's my kill rate here? About 130 kills per minute, maybe just under. And I'm doing this whilst nattering you lot. That's pretty effective. But that's what we get when we have a upgraded Plasmor. Really sorry, I should have known Pillage was the best subscene on Joe. I promise won't ask another stupid question. Not a stupid question. Not a stupid question. Generally speaking, what is the best subsume to put on a frame is a bit of a stupid question, but in Jaya's case there is just an objective answer. And it's part of just the way that Jaya is designed to be so flimsy, to be so cast focused, and really benefits from every affected pillage. It's just so good on her. But usually asking what's the best subsume to put on a frame is wrong, because usually they're not quite so pigeonholed. Usually it's more of a case of, okay, well, what's your build, what are you trying to achieve, and what is Warframe sucking at? That's your helmet. The only real stupid questions are one more questions. That was called out as one of the issues with chat, was one-word questions. So, thank you, Byte. Now I know which response was your one. Now I know which was your response in the whole survey. Yes, Alsu. Exactly like that. Ah, so you're another one of those. I have you figured out now, Alsu. I have you figured out. But yeah, like, if I'm building something and someone will just, out of nowhere, just name a mod. And it's like, okay, yes. Point blank is a mod that exists for shotguns. What's your actual question? So yeah, it's a thing. And there's no getting away from that because there's absolutely no filtering of it. It is entirely down to me to manage how I respond to that. Which is exactly what the complaints are about. I was not managing my responses appropriately. So I'm trying to be a better person. I am constantly trying to be a better person. This just adds weight and gravity to the as yet incomplete process when it comes to being a Twitch streamer. I get it. I've only been streaming for nearly 5 years. Nearly 5 years. I think I started streaming... Yeah, I started streaming late August 2020. It was going to be the start of August, but then my graphics card blew up the day I was going to stream. That was not a good day. That was not a good day. All we can do is try and be a better person today than we were yesterday. Well said, well said. And while improvements are incremental, one hopes to make more than the most incremental of improvements. But say, hey, if you want us to do start for you, we can. No, because that's not better. That's just turning chat toxic. And we don't want toxic. There were complaints from people about the Discord, for example, in the survey, complaining that there were badly behaved people on the Discord that were allowed to misbehave for too long or that no action was taken, which, I have to say, is actually kind of news to me. That was kind of news to me because we have a moderation team. We have a ticket system to reach the moderation team if there is something serious happening. So this was someone who's had issues, but decided not to raise it with the moderation team. And at that point, I have to ask, what do you want me to do? Also, that person in their very same survey did respond that they know how to contact and modify the ticket system. We're humans. We have unpaid moderators. They volunteer their time to assist where they can. If we're not made aware of an issue, you can't guarantee we'll see the issue. I am 100% not keeping abreast of every single message on that Discord. By God, some of you have opinions. I ain't got time for that. I got to make content. I'm not about to become a Discord React content creator. Ew. Yeah. If you do have an issue on the Discord, either open a ticket up or contact me directly. Preferably open a ticket because the mods can help out faster than I can a lot of the time. If you have an issue, raise the issue. We can't fix things we don't know about, you know? Leg was saying, sometimes the issue doesn't feel worthy of bothering mods for, I guess. Well, that's the thing, is like, if there is an issue, bother the mods. If there is not an issue, then how is it issue enough to complain on a survey that it's an issue that didn't get resolved? There should not be an overlap between issues worth complaining about and issues not worth raising to the people who can fix them. You know? I know there is such an overlap, and it is a cognitive dissonance to have such an overlap. It's the equivalent of saying there is something that you should be warned about in a game, but also being upset about games that have warnings. So, well, how do you think you'd be warned about a thing if games don't have said warnings? And I've come across that same opinion as well. It's a thing. People hurt feelings because you did math to them? It's not that. Although plenty of people did complain about my videos being too mathy and my streams being too mathy. Vastly more people want more math, so it's not going away. It's not going away. It's pretty much my USP. Cognitive distance, that would never happen with humanity? Of course not. At least not the ones with cognitive capabilities. Can't please everyone? Yep. But I can still pay attention to what is going on and try to do better. Goes to the Mathman streamer, gets annoyed at the math. Some of the answers were not so much annoyance at the math, but more, oh, the math is too complicated, or you're spending too much time explaining the equations, or some of this math just is irrelevant. There were multiple complaints saying we don't need to know all the different bands of likelihood of XYZ thing happening yet. Let us know what's the common time to farm something and what's the 99th percentile, and then just stop there. Which is probably a valid thing. Outside of the specific farm time videos, it's probably valid. And I will be taking that into consideration. Do I have a maths background, Ken, or just hobby interest? My math background stopped at school, in that I have a mathematics A level, which included a statistics module, and I have both maths and statistics GCSEs, but those are all comparatively low-level things. Otherwise, I just dabble in it because it's a tool I can use. A lot of people get scared of even the plus sign on a calculator in trying to figure out how things work. Meanwhile, math just go burr, it works for me. It just works for me. People want to know what the answer is, not how to arrive there. Well, yes. But also, plenty of people want me to show the working. One of the most common requests for the YouTube videos is to spend more time explaining my reasoning for individual parts of a build. But also, one of the most common requests was to not focus on the basics. There is a very tight line to draw there, and that's where the skill of a creator comes in to figure out where that line is. And the survey is more of a litmus test to see how well am I doing at straddling that line. Basics are important, as many recognize, but then it's, again, the nuance within the numbers. I've categorized stuff in order to represent it numerically, but I have read through every single survey response. So that is 1,300 answers at max to what should be in YouTube videos, 1,300 answers to what shouldn't be, 1,300 answers as to is there something wrong with the Twitch streams, and so on. It's not exactly 1,300 answers in each section. There's plenty of people that don't watch Twitch, and so they just didn't answer the sections at all. That sort of thing. And a change in lighting as requested there by Mike. Alex saying, personally I could watch any content creator for guides and builds, but Ken doing math explaining it in depth is one of the unique appeals that others can't offer. Yeah, the math is my USP. Other creators can show you that thing works, I can tell you the numbers behind it in a way that you can reliably trust. And when I say something does 13% more damage, you know I'm not pulling that 13% out my ass, you know I'm not just reading a mod card or the wiki, you know it is 13%. And when I say that the math is complicated and I can't give you an answer, that's when you go, oh shit D, why did you do this? When I tell you it's too complicated to consider, yeah, we've reached a limit that probably should not have been reached. Probably. But still, there was a general request for more explanation as to how I come to the modding conclusions I do. And I understand that that's because people are wanting me to give them more room so they can make their own decisions outside of the builds I offer. Which, yeah, fair enough. Gobbo Transboy, thank you very much for subscribing with the Prime. Welcome into the channel proper. Enjoy that lovely blue badge next to your name. No more ads for you. You got access to the supporter team lounge over on the Discord, and you got all the emotes to go along with it. Thank you very much. One thing that I will be massively toning down in my videos, because this was a very big request, is the acquisition sections. I'd originally started putting them in response to a frequent question on a lot of videos, oh, where do I actually get this? Which seemed like a fair cop to me. Where do you get the thing that I am actively talking about and telling you can use? Where do you get it? Turns out a lot of people really dislike those sections. Really dislike. Enough to call it out as, please stop doing this. There you are. We have a not so smart Ken here now. Excuse me. Excuse-moi. Are you having to go out there, bye? Yeah. Reminds me, I need to watch your primetime coverage. It seems like that look under the hood explained why Warframe is the way it is. I mean, it gave us a little bit of an insight, absolutely. It was interesting to see how they build it together, what kind of levers they have to work with. It was an interesting insight. I feel like it leaves more questions than answers, but still got some answers. New follower name. Oh, right. Alright, yeah, I ignore the bot. I literally mostly ignore the bot. Unless I'm specifically looking for the bot's message, they don't exist to me, because I can't spend that time reading the bot's messages. I've got other things to do. So I didn't even see that. Some saying that seems a bit weird complaint from some elitist late game players. Ooh, interesting choice of words, bias noticed. Moving on, because acquisition seems super relevant for new casual players who can't be bothered to get to the wiki for 1,000 different weapons and warframes. And there we get to the crux of it. There we get to the crux of it. That was one of the biggest complaints, is that I cover things which can be very, very easily looked upon the wiki in seconds. And to be honest, I kind of agree. I kind of agree. Because myself, if I go to YouTube for a guide for something, I see a 20-minute guide to something that I feel like has just a 5-minute answer, I'm groaning inside. This has been happening a lot recently with, for example, EVE Online, because I've been engaging with an area that I don't have a lot of experience in, so knowing more about it, I need guides. And almost every guide I come across is not a written one, it's a video one, because let's face it, that's where the ad revenue is. That has a very, very big effect on people's desire on where to put a guide. And then I see some of those guides, and I go something to the tune of, hey guys, okay, so today we're going to be looking at this ship here, because this one, I've been having some great success with it, and so I'm just going to go over to this section here. For God's sake, we haven't even started. It does me in. And then people start skipping through the videos, and then you get lost in the source, trying to find the details, blah 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 blah. At least the narration of my videos is more entertaining than that. I make a point of it. It's what makes me more of a content creator, rather than someone speaking into a microphone. It's why my videos don't come out every single day with just the latest ramble off the top of my head. Because of the extra time I put in to make sure it has a flow to it. It has a goal. It's got a path that you feel comfortable following, as much as I can. So yeah, I don't want you to have cheap content or frustrating content when you come to my videos. Because then you'll remember me for being cheap and frustrating, and that sucks. But yeah, I am, having seen the sheer number of responses that are not happy with the acquisition sections, I will absolutely be minimizing those sections. Straight up. And the answer to those comments that go, oh, but where do I get this? Will be, look, if you don't get it from the very simple answer, from the very quick info, just look at the goddamn wiki. Unless it needs explaining, look at the wiki. It'll take you seconds. Yo, Nix1984, thank you very much for subscribing. Nix1984, thank you very much for subscribing with your Prime. Welcome into the channel proper and enjoy your lovely blue sub badge and all the other bits and pieces come along with that. And Mantis, thank you very much for the tier 2 resub, up onto 7 months there. And indeed, things are going good here. Welcome in, Mantis. Hope you're doing well yourself. Hope you've been having only the good Mantis moments. So yeah, to give an example, upcoming video, next video is indeed going to be on this weapon right here, which is the Coda Bass Assist. I have no idea if it's supposed to be called Bass Assist or Bass Assist. I'm going with Bass Assist because bass music, rather than bass fish. But yeah, in terms of this weapon, it has an acquisition section so small that YouTube would not permit it to be a timestamped section. I have straight up summarized as just, it's a brand new weapon from Deca Encore that is exclusively purchased from Eleanor. And that's it. That's the acquisition section. There's no, you can purchase it for 10 live heart cells. There's no mention of live heart cells come from the Coda hunts. There's no mention of the 4 days on, 4 days off rotation. There's no mention of the different progenitor bonuses and how they vary as well. None of that. I've skipped out all of that acquisition information as ultra simple, wikiable, or logical info. If you go to Eleanor and you see you need 10 heart cells to buy the thing, I would hope you are smart enough at that point to realize either you have them or that is a different content you need to learn about. So yeah, that's the kind of change to acquisition. Still mentioning in very brief, enough to give you the words to search if you need to search, either for a video guide or a text guide, but nowhere further than that. Paring that right the way down, because the larger portion of my viewers are indeed more advanced players. It's not exclusively so, not at all. We have players as low as like MR5 watching videos, but they're the minority. They are the minority. FFPulse say, recently watched the Relic video, greatly appreciate you figuring out the most efficient way to farm them as a player with limited time. You're very welcome. And that is absolutely the goal there, quite frankly. I have the time as a content creator to figure these things out, be it relic farming, be it mining, whatever it be. I have the time to figure it out, to test it a bajillion times over, and then get you straight onto whatever's practical and fast. Mythic saying, you're probably already doing this, but do keep in mind there's probably response bias. Hey guys, who was here long enough to hear me talk about exactly that? Welcome on in, Mythic. Hope you're doing well today. Don't worry, Mythic. I already covered exactly that point. You just got here after a physics final exam? Well, I hope the physics went well. I hope the science scienced. Let's see. Fraser say, I think it takes a certain kind of player to consume content beyond playing, and usually it's those that are more vested in the game already. Yeah. Most people don't go to YouTube to catch guides on the latest weapon if they're only MR3. I mean, the time you spend between MR0 and 3 is very, very little. It takes effort to interact with Warframe and not get past MR3 quick. Excuse me. Oh, that curry is arguing me. So yeah. Yo! Yo! Would we ever? Look at that right there. First of all, there is a Hydra Mantis. I don't know if I actually did that. Cheers. But then Mantis with the 10 gifted subs out to the community right there. That's gone out to Comedy Knife, to Leandris Isharan, to Simal, to Zorpal Weapon, to Garnet Portrait, to Hatari Hell, to Before 1 and 0, I think that's how I'm reading that, to Spark Sukhol, Happy Hour Honeymoon, and to UB95. Hey! Mantis, thank you very much for the gifted subs there, much appreciated. Anyone who got one, make sure you do thank Mantis, as I was exceptionally generous. That there is a Mantis moment, that is indeed, that is a Mantis moment right there. Mantis, bringer of wealth and fortune to all wonderful people on this channel. Or at least another 10 people, it seems. Thank you very much, Mantis. Alright, I've spent long enough in this mission as just kind of a background noise to what I had to say. It's a little bit distracting, but you know, it's fine, it's fine. Now, in terms of what's coming out of the videos, I've already said it's the acquisition, but in terms of what's coming in, people also were asking quite a lot for more variety on the builds. Not necessarily different playstyle builds, but more variety as in what can you do with the builds to make them different, rather than just here is the build for this, here is the build for that. There was quite a request for more variety. And surprisingly enough, there are a couple people asking for less humour, and quite a few more people asking for more humour, and I've merged the two. I believe I have successfully merged the two, in a little way. So the video that will be coming out next, which is on the Code Base Assist, it will have not only the walkthrough of the build that has been in action here, which has been absolutely shredding through those enemies. How many kills there? 3,758 kills, not even the slightest sweat, and I was not paying full attention there. Also, 639 of those were headshot kills. That's pretty nice. A shotgun with that kind of reliable headshot rate, I'm happy with that. But yeah, you'll have the build that way. Builds that focus into other directions, other metas, other aspects of how Warframe comes together, where you may wish to use the weapon, and then something a little bit odd. With a purpose, just an odd purpose. Let's see what y'all make of it. So that you've got to look forward to as well. Just checking with the mods here, because I've been busy on the chatted side. Did any of the mods catch the timeout request? Because I don't see that it got picked up there. And I know we've got a few mods bouncing around. Mods? Yeah, I'm going to refund that person. They did not get properly served by the moderation team here today. Let us refund that one. This disc. Ah, well, it's fine. Like I said earlier, the mods don't get paid. Someone did not get properly timed out? Yeah. There was a timeout request, and then they were not timed out, so their points are back to them. How dare. How absolutely dare. Alright then, so we've gone through EDA, we've gone through ETA, we've gone through the Netrocells, I've gone over a lot of the survey bits and pieces. It's Labour Day evening, people enjoy their evening. Okay. Sorry, Labour Day in which country? Why is there a timeout request? Because one of the biggest supporters of the channel, years ago, asked for the ability to get timed out. As a channel point redemption. So, I added it. They originally requested it as a 2035 thing. I think there was a joke about it at the time. So, I added it as get 2035'd, and that's why it costs 2,035 spanners. It's a joke on the whole, if you get permanently banned in Warframe, you're banned until the year 2035 is what it says. eventually, I made changes and changes to make it clearer, and I've ended up having to just straight up call it time yourself out. Or time out yourself, yeah. Because no matter the changes I made, no matter the big red button on it, no matter that it says in the info box that pops up, you will be timed out. No matter these details, people still kept redeeming it, not knowing they were about to be timed out. And I found out that part of the reason this was happening is that people would get to 2035 spanners and it would pop up on their screen, time out yourself, 2035 spanners. Just say, you have a new reward, redeem now. And so they go, oh, okay, I'll redeem that now then. You've been timed out. What the fuck? And yeah, as Byte pointed out, Warframe themselves did this. The Warframe channel, having one of the community team on it, stepped into this stream at one point. They've been here a few times over. In fact, they've been here enough to accrue 2035 channel points. Those spanners. And the message popped up for them, and they happily redeemed it. And so, as requested, I timed out the Warframe channel for 2035 seconds, which is a little bit over half an hour. Mods? It should have worked, Alex. If I had done it, you would have already been timed out. I said mods the moment that I could have hit enter to have done it myself. I want to see now how long it takes. There it... Oh, no. No, 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 Crescendo, no. That's not how you do it in the slightest. Let's bring that person back, shall we? Good God. Okay. Timeout. There we go. Remove that. Fucking Christ. Ah. So, Crescendo, a little bit of live learning for you. Don't click the moving chat timeout button. 1, that is a 10-minute timeout, not the correct thing. 2, no, you cause collateral damage. You click the username in the moderator window, because you should be using the Twitch moderator window, by the way. We have a link for it on the moderator Discord. Click the correct one. Alex, it's a training moment. It's fine, give it a moment. You click the username, and it opens up on the mod panel that person, all their chats, and below that there is the timeout section. You can time out for 10 seconds, 1 minute, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, or a custom value. You just type 2035 into there, hit enter, bam, they've got the timeout. This makes sure you only time out the correct person for the correct amount of time. Don't just click on random things. And I know that this detail is over on the mod Discord. Oh, good God. Whilst we're doing the training exercise, also someone timeout over me. Whilst we're on the exercise, Mantis coming through with another 20 gifted subs to the community. My word. Mantis, thank you very much for that there. That's gone out to Kaus TM, to Grondax, to Teroben, to JD Casual Gamer, to a 619 Mendes, to Inikuna? I've got that wrong, I'm sure. To Anaron Area, to Apollos Prime, to Modorios, to J. Rocker Drawn, to Sailing to Nowhere, to Kim Sotus, to Atalix, to... Oh god, I have to actually read this username again. S2... Oh, I remember, you said just stop at S2. To S2, to Kojak, to Rezo, to FF Pulse, to Cosmos, to Arjoli, and to Thomas. Thank you very much there, Mantis, for the gifted subs out of the community there. Anyone who did receive one there from Mantis, make sure you say thank you for that, because that is exceedingly generous from Mantis. Once again, would you look at that? Cheers. Oh. Cheers indeed. Dodger? Yeah. Unfortunately, Templar, you did a Rodger. You Dodger. Another time. There's a lot of people here. Without the time yourselves, do we confirm them as they get treated? Iggy, if someone clicks timeout yourself and thinks they're not going to get timed out, skill issue, learning moment. Maybe this is me being a little bit too harsh to chat on this one, but quite frankly, I cannot make it clearer. It is a big red button that says time out yourself. When you click it, it says time out yourself for 2035 seconds. You will be unable to chat for over half an hour. You have been warned. I cannot make it clearer. If someone 2035s himself on this stream, they get 2035'd. If they wish to appeal it, yeah. You mean in the queue for the point rewards? Oh, if you've done it, confirm it, yes. If you've done it, confirm it so it goes away. But only once you've definitely done it. Not the other way around. Also, Mantis, thank you very much for gifting a sub over to Templar. They have now realised the error of their ways. But all the same, they still have that ad-free viewing for a month now, don't they? Thank you very much for that there, Mantis. Cheers. And don't ban Lucky? Yes. Lucky would like to remain Lucky. Please do not ban Lucky unless Lucky deserves to be banned. Let me quickly check Lucky's messages. Do you deserve to be banned? Let me see here. Let me see. Says, heyo Ken, bye Ken, ticket. Lurk. Doesn't like the MR9 test. Ooh, I don't know if we can keep you for that. Ooh. Oh, look at this. Back on the 30th of August, TX Lucky wished me a happy birthday. I mean, we can't be having that now, can we? That's absolutely considerate and nice. A chat message. A considerate chat message. I have it on good grounds that the second worst issue on this stream is that chat is bad. You gotta fit in. Nah, you're fine, Lucky. You're fine. If someone bans you, complain to me. MR9, that's old. Hey, you're the one who complained about it. Templar, thank you very much for giving a sub over to Merksuna. Templar Warden, thank you very much for that there. And that is your first gifted sub in the channel. Much appreciated. It looks like we are moments away from kicking off a hype train. Ah. How far away from the end of stream? Uh-oh. You might trap me. What was the biggest issue? That I am too much of a problem towards chat. My attitude towards chat, in various definitions of attitude towards chat, was marked as the #1 problem on stream according to the survey Mythic. So I'm trying to be a better person. Trying. I mean, I've already been aware of and trying to work on that, but apparently I've not done enough. So I will keep trying to do better. It's a thing. It's a thing. Mantis, you must have had yourself a very good day. Even that's what received a bonus. Thank you very much for the 5 gifted subs again out to community. This time going out to Shadow Incorporated, to Comgen, to Sticko, to Sharpshooter, and to Dragolwolf. Mantis, thank you very, very much for that. With the sheer amount of gifted subs that Mantis has just given out here, if we get one more subscription from someone who is not Mantis or Templar Warden, or if someone tips the stream 100 bits, we probably could be on like a level 4 hype train. There is just this amount of pressure right behind the door of it from Mantis. It just, there it is. Animalek and Lucky both have decided to chuck their bits in. I think that is a better way I could have phrased that. Any case, there we are. I was wrong. I am so sorry. We are in a level 3 hype train, not level 4. My apologies. I overestimated. It might be that the earlier 10 were too long ago. That's probably it. Mythic, thank you for the bit as well. Cal J, thank you for the 100 bits. Mythic asking, I don't know if 1 bit counts. I don't think it does. Like, it counts towards the hype train in the same way that a credit reward after 15 waves of defense counts towards your wallet. You did get more credits, but... and it's not enough for you to be eligible for hype train rewards. The emotes you get from hype train, you must either gift a sub for yourself, or you tip 100+ bits. So 1 bit doesn't actually cross that threshold. Yeah, being completely honest on that with you there. Mantis, thank you very much for gifting another sub. This one's going out to Are you choosing the names I can't read? Ejakfa? Ejakfa, you're here in the chat at the moment. Can you explain to me, how do I pronounce your username, please? I've got nothing on that one. I genuinely have nothing on that one. Sam Salian, thank you very much for the subscription with your Prime. Welcome into the channel proper, and enjoy your lovely blue sub badge and all the other bits and pieces that go along with that. Cheers. Now you're afraid that Mantis lost something? Oh, no, Mantis has not logged in the last couple of hours. Okay, yeah. You didn't choose it, it just fell right into gift it to that person. Fair enough, then. Keyboard smash 10. I don't know if it's a keyboard smash. Maybe it's just Polish? Nah, it's not enough Zs. No, I got nothing. Ejak. Ejace, perhaps. How do I pronounce your username? I've got nothing. Speaking of... XNDRB11, thank you very much for subscribing with your Prime as well. Up onto 2 months now, you got that lovely bronze badge next to your name. And I, again, have no idea how I'm supposed to pronounce it other than to just read it out bit by bit there. The best my brain can figure if I just squint is you are now X-Dribble. So X-Dribble, thank you very much for subscribing to the channel here. Much appreciated. And Ellie, thank you very much for gifting a sub over to Silancy. Much appreciated. Okay, your name is Xander. You removed the vowels. Okay, XNDR. I see that. And then the B11. I mean, is that supposed to be a Birmingham postcode? Twitch won't let you change it? Oh, you can change your username. I don't know how you change it, but you can change it. But I see it now. Xander B11 without the vowels. I was never gonna get that. Cheers. And Adam Malik, thank you very much for the 999 bits. Woo! That's a little bit more than the 100 minimum to participate on the train. Thank you very much for... Excuse me, my curry is really arguing me today. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Eddie, for the 999 bits. You changed your username as well, which is very confusing on leaderboards. True, leaderboards do not track your account ID, they track your username, so they get very confused if you change it. Cheers. Another initial and lucky number. Oh, fair enough. I've not heard of many people with lucky number 11. That is quite unique. Fair do, fair do. We're not even at level cap bits. True, but if we want to talk about level cap bits, I don't see the badge on Adamalik at the moment. You might be hiding it. I can assure you, Addy has a substantial bit badge. Addy has a substantial bit badge. So, I mean, Addy, if you throw out... Oh, there it is. I was going to say you could throw out the emotes, but there it is. Have a look at that. I am not in the slightest bit concerned about whether or not Addy feels like going up to level cap worth of bits, because Addy has a 100,000 bit badge. Yeah, they support the channel a bit. They support the channel a bit. For those of you out of the loop on how bits actually work, maybe you've never looked at it, and honestly, I don't blame you if you never have. Each bit is to the streamer 1 US cent. But in order for you to purchase bits, you have to spend a bit more than that because Twitch takes its cut. So 100,000 bits, which granted is over the whole time that Addy's been here, for years. 100,000 bits is 100,000 US cents, or simply 1,000 US dollars. So Addy has definitely contributed their bit there. I also say I'll give you 100 bits if you tell that red shard on the right. Alright, I'll wait. We got a hype stream running at the moment, Alsu. This is the perfect time for you to grab yourself those bits and maybe unlock a... Well, definitely unlock an emote as well. I'm going nowhere. It's a hype train. I'm not allowed to go anywhere contractually. That's just how it works. Bite with a hydrate. You just saw me finish that water. Cheers. You just saw me drink it. I can't fix that. I mean, I could, but leaving the stream to go refill my water during a hype train also feels illegal. So I guess we just can't do that. You're very late, but are you ready? Prime incoming? Hell yeah. Yeah, I figured you'd be happy about it, Snake Raider. Absolutely. I knew you'd be happy about that one. Whilst we see if Alsu is going to commit, I have the desire to not do that. I have 11 of these. Let's just crack one real quick. What do I get? Stradivar! No. Methyl hydrate? Cheers. Better fulfill these when stream ends? Yeah, I'll be getting a new cuppa, don't you worry. Don't you worry. Looks like the stream is just about to have its moment. As I say, have a boomer moment, don't know how to give bits. You click the cheer button at the bottom of the chat there, and then you choose the 100. Also, the seconds are about to run out. There it is, on-screen celebration. That's not the same one, but it still works, so that I'll count that. Lucky, thank you very much for the gifted sub that's gone out to Amoshi-san. And thank you, Alsu, for the on-screen celebration with your 100 bits right there as well. Alright, let's go upgrade this. Let's go upgrade this. Off with you. Ascent Fusion. Let's see. Do I have enough? 4,000 Stellar takes 100. Okay, I think I should just be enough in there.
100 bits to swap one of the greens with the yellow.
Why would you do that? Why would you request that? Ellie, why would you request that? Alright, so Eliu has put 100 bits up. Do we have any counters? Do I hear 150 bits? 150 bits to make me not do it? Do I hear 150 bits? We got currently 100 bits to maybe switch to yellow with the green. I have 100 bits. Anyone going to go for 150? Out there for a moment, 150 bits. Do I hear 150 bits? Looking over at you in Latvia. Over you. Over there in Croatia. Anyone in the United States? 150 bits. Stop Eliu getting their wishes. Going once. Going twice. And he said you're not going to get more. Valid. Completely valid. You're absolutely fine, Addy. You know it. You're absolutely fine. Man said, give me a minute. Oh, okay. Let's give Mantis a moment. Mantis would like to challenge Eliu on this one now. I'm not going to get in the way of that. But there we go. Are you happy at the very least, Alsu? You now have... Well, I now have double Tau Forge there. You get to see the double Tau Forge. How do you send bits again? There's again the bit button at the bottom of the stream. You could do the power-ups, or you could just, you know... on the chat itself, there is the... If you click in the chat, you can send the bits there. I think... Yeah, oh yeah, they changed the icon. It looks like a little party popper. It looks like a little party popper or cone of celebration next to the emotes button. That's what it is. Can you use your spanners? No. I mean, not for that. You can use your spanners, but not for that. Oh, you went for the on-screen celebration. Alright.
Dual Tau green.
So now we've got competing requests. We've got competing requests for Jewel Tau Green, by the way. I don't have enough greens to make that happen, so we'll see where the requests land now, won't we? We'll see the requests land. So we have 100 bits for swapping these, 200 for not swapping them, and 200 for upgrading them. I just need to say the two often have exactly enough. That is a fair point. Okay. That is a fair point. We'll see where this lands. Eliu, you and your
Upgrade.
problem voters. That's 1,000 from Lucky for upgrading. Okay, so that is certainly taking a hot spot there. Lucky, are you say upgrade and leave them in place, or upgrade and swap them? Which would you prefer, Lucky? Upgrade them in place, or upgrade and move the green and yellow around? Leave in place. Okay. Alright then. So that is now 1,200 for move them, 100 for... sorry, 1,200 leave them, 100 move them. I think, Eliu, that's probably going to be that, isn't it? I take it from that message. Oh no, I've been beaten. Whatever shall we do? Yeah.
Not moving the yellow.
1,500 for not moving. Yeah. I think it's pretty secure at this point. I think it's pretty secure. So let's get these greens out of here. They deserve an upgrade. I'm going to need to feed this hongy boy again. Let's, Enigma Gyrum. Let's Omega Isotope it. What do I actually use that for? That should... let's throw a bit more Tycho Plate. There we go. Love that they're going to have different feed costs soon. There we go. We need to Ascent Fuse these. And these. Last chance if someone wants to get in the way as to the ordering of these. Krichalians. Cry over here. Could you tell me if I could beat Temple Archimedia with my Wisp and Burst and Prime? If it's Burst and Prime in Kanon, yes. Just keep jumping. Just keep jumping. Frezza, the max corrosive is that against bosses which have restricted status procs, they limit you to 4 procs of the same type. These greens bypass that, and so with 2 of these, you have +3/+3, the 4 proc max becomes 10 proc max. So you can actually remove quite a bit of armor. They are. These go in now. Huzzah! That is a fully Talforged Lavos Prime. Joining the ranks of the other fully Talforged frames I have. Like Frost and Atlas. Chonky shards. Was Wukong fully Talforged? No, not Wukong. Was Old Lavos fully Talforged? Nope, not entirely. Let's see, was it Mesa? Nope. 2 standard greens there. Volt? Volt got 3 Talforged. If I sort these by Archon shards. If only it said on them, like... actually, how many? Banshee? Not fully. Atlas? Yep. Red. Atlas fully done. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's not going to need any more against normal mobs. You're absolutely right, Frezza. Against normal mobs, no benefit. What was that blue shard doing on old Lavos? Got him over 2,000 armor. Because, hey, over 2,000. That was the way. Dante. Dagath. Only 1 Talforged on Dagath. Frost. Yep, 5 towels. Gara. 2 towels. Just 2. Jaya. Fully Talforged Jaya. Okay. And Naros. Only the 1. Kome. Fully Talforged. Loki. Just the 1. So yeah, there's a few out there. 3 towels there. Nova? Fully Talforged Nova. Jesus. When do I even use Nova? Seriously. Why have I fully Talforged Nova? Protea double Talforge. Q. Corvex. Fully Talforged. Revenant. Fully Talforged. Jesus, I've got more Tau Forges than I realised. Sevagoth, 3 of them. Dania, none. None. We had a look at Vault. Varuna, 1. Wukong, we've seen Zaku, 4. And there we are. Uraili, surely not. No, not on Uraili, just Christmas colours. And then we're into less than 5 shards. Alright. So yeah. We need Nova to rotate us back around in Prime Access. She'll come around, don't you worry. She'll come around. So there we are. Yeah, I do have a few Tau Forge here and there. It would be nice if I could just have a simple summary of where the shards are, rather than having to click through like that each time. It would be nice to just have a ledger of them. That would be nice. Because I've got 3 Tau there and 5 Tau here, but where are the rest, you know? Without having just seen them. This just means we need to fully Tau Twitch's Fault Prime. The question is, what would we fully Tau it with? Like, would we go full game melee crit damage when max energy is over 500, considering that Uraili doesn't want a melee? Would we go full ability damage on enemies affected by electric status? Would we go full ability damage on enemies affected by radiation even? Full Tau Forge max stacks are corrosive? Considering the slash damage of Aqua Blades. Needs to be all green to fit the fashion frame. You have a point there. It probably would have to be all green max stack of corrosive to have plus 15 stacks of corrosive. Yeah, that might actually be the worst one. Plus 15 stacks of corrosive on Uraili Prime. I think that might actually kill some people looking at it. Truly, for those enemies of over 100% armor. Why do we hate Uraili? We don't hate Uraili. We just hate Uraili. Alright. I'm completely off topic at this point. The train has left the station. The shards are upgraded. I think it is about time that we do a platinum giveaway. If you haven't already got yourself a ticket for that, exclamation mark ticket in the chat for a chance to win the plat. We'll be doing the draw in just a moment here. At 75 plat that can go out to anyone here. So it could be someone on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, PC, or mobile. You could be a fresh viewer today, or you could have been here for years. Everyone has the same chance at the same plat. I'll give you all a moment to grab the ticket, because I'm sure there's always loads of you who haven't thought about it till now, because I'm just that engaging, of course. I'll give you all a moment on that. For those of you who have supported the channel throughout today as well, thank you very, very much. It really does mean a lot. It enables the stream to keep being what it is, so I really do appreciate it. Every single one of you. Whether it's bits, whether it's subs, all of that a lot, or if you just here along enjoying the stream, sharing it with your friends, that kind of thing. Thank you as well on that side, absolutely. My thanks do not just go out to those of you who have swiped with the debit card. If you're passing the stream off to your friends, clanmates, someone in region chat, be like, hey, yo, check out this nerd, you're helping me out too. So I appreciate you. If, however, you are just sat lurking with an ad blocker turned on, I'm going to end that thought. Yes, thank you for making me hydrate with an empty cup. So appreciated. Just goes to show how many hydrates we've had today, doesn't it? You have a few bits left for later to make me fix my builds as needed. Got it. Snake Raider, cheers. No blocks for creators? But then how am I supposed to play Minecraft? Cheers, Leovina. Much appreciated. Alright, that's enough time for people to grab tickets. Although, speaking of which, Leovina, you don't have a ticket. Did you want a ticket? I just noticed that's your first message. I mean, if you have an ad blocker on but you're subbed, it's no longer my problem. Quite frankly. You were never going to get the ad here anyway, so you're just blocking horrible tracking stuff, and that's fine. Ticket for what? The giveaway! Exclamation mark free stuff. It's a 75 plate giveaway, and it's happening right now, so last chance to grab a ticket. Like, right this moment. You never know, you might win. Isn't this just reminding me to breathe at this point? I refuse. I'm fine. Alright, good, got 2k, let people get. Alright, fair enough, we're done. Let's close the tickets then. Let's close the tickets. Alright then, let's see the winner of the Platinum giveaway. It's only going to be one of you. The winner today is Jasong, or Jasong, or Jason G, actually, for that matter. Jason G674. It's not just Jasong. Jason G674, congratulations. You are the winner today. I'll be contacting you shortly after the end of the stream. Get hold of your Warframe username, platform, and cross-save status. We'll get that sent on over to you, absolutely. There's a good callback to the latest dev short. I didn't watch the dev short. Did I accidentally reference a dev short? Did I accidentally reference a dev short? Okay, fair enough. Great minds think alike. Hopefully it was a great mind I'm thinking like. And with that then, for everyone else, thank you very much for joining in on the stream today. We are going to raid on out of here to another part of the Warframe community now. TLW, Reb held her breath concerningly long. Huh. Alright then, I guess, yeah, great minds do think alike. She got lightheaded after. Okay, I wasn't daft enough to do that. I know my own limits, and yeah. Anyway, let's see. Who do we want to raid into today? Let's have a looky-loo at those who are live in the Warframe category, because we're not going to raid out of not Warframe. That would be daft. Let's see. So, we have got Xenos. We could head on over to. We've gone on to Xenos quite a few times recently. Not a problem, it's just, I'd like to spread the love a little bit. Who else have we got that I recognise here? I don't recognise Venom, but they are live there. There's a Squamatha, Math noticed in the name. That is VTuber, Roxanne, VTuber. Oh, sorry, I definitely need another drink. That curry is still arguing with me. You say it was in reaction to Steve wanting to Reaper the Yard stream without issues. Repeat the Yard stream. No, they're joking about underwater streams. Please, D, don't do an underwater stream. No. I don't have a particular preference on where we raid into, so I'm just going to go for Xenos because I know that Xenos is a great stream to raid on into. So that is exactly what we're going to do. Let's load that up here. That is, however, all from me today. I'm just typing in the raid details. They appear to have a very bright energy Gara on their team. My god, you have to see this. So let's raid on into there. That's all from me. Catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.